Every wrestling game has limits on what you can do, where you can go, and pretty much everything in between. But in 2010, the next installment in the SmackDown vs. Raw series tried to push those limits out completely. What if you can have infinite ways of breaking a table or anything in a TLC match? What if there was a Hell in a Cell that was more accurate to the TV product and allow you to finally have weapons in it? And what if there was a mode where every player experience is different, meaning the type of rivalries, the way you fight for a championship, the way you go after a championship, and your road to WrestleMania is always vastly different than everyone around you. Everyone has a unique experience. That game was SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, the final game in the SmackDown vs. Raw series, and the wrestling game that tried to have no limits. Now, because the main selling point of this game is the physics engine, there's not really much I can say than to just straight up show you guys what I'm talking about. So we're heading right into gameplay because that's pretty much exactly the best way to show you the biggest selling point of this game. So for SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, as you see, everything is brand new because essentially it is new. Obviously, Universe Mode, we will look into that a little bit later. Brand new road to WrestleMania, the Xbox Live, everything we're going to look at, what we need to look at. But yes, the physics engine, because of this, a lot of the stuff has been updated. The Hell in a Cell, ladder matches, tables, TLC, backstage. There's so many backstage arenas now. Extreme Rules, and the brand new match creator, which we will look into. But the best demonstrate the new physics engine, we have to do a TLC match. And to best demonstrate this, one of my favorite TLC matches of all time, with people who are available, The Undertaker, and yes, he has this Ministry of Darkness attire, but we'll get into that. Undertaker, and he'll be facing Edge. Did he put the title on the line? Oh, he has an alternate attire. But we're not going to use his alternate attire, actually. And then Edge. This is original attire. And yes, the NXT arena is present. Jack, 1, 2. Oh yeah. Yes, Jack Swagger song. But first of all, thank you for stopping by. I am Johnny Burney. I believe it's your first time here. If you're wondering what this is about, this is a 25-day event. We are on day, I don't know what day it is, but we are on the day of SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. We're going through the main WWE games to see how we got to 2K26. How do we get to the current game? A better way to show you than to go through a history of them. So we're now on SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, the game that had no limits. And what better way to demonstrate that is to showcase the new physics engine in a TLC match. And plus, I mean, one of the main things as well, the character models for a lot of the superstars have been updated as well. I know people criticize the direction. People felt like these were like plastic figures, like toys, but I kind of like the look of it. Obviously, the next game is, they just went completely 180 and made things a tad bit more realistic. But like the shine of these characters, I know people complain about, but it was perfectly fine to me. And yes, Undertaker in his updated attire, even though it wasn't his WrestleMania 26 one, I believe when did he use this? He used this all the way back at, I believe, WrestleMania 24, but they just now finally decided to put it in after all this time. I believe it was WrestleMania 24 he used this outfit. And with Edge, and now you're going to instantly notice the difference. Look, the tables are already in the ring, as well as the ladders. They really wanted you to just go and play around and go crazy. And that's exactly what we are going to do. The one newest thing, again, because the new physics engine, you can hit any certain moves you can hit in any direction. I don't know why I'm doing the same move twice. I could have swore I hit something different. There we go. I'm trying to find a variation of a move I can use real quick. Like a suplex. This was the mode, I mean, this was the game that allowed you to hit moves in certain direction. This is where it first started, right here. Like right here. Boom, table break. Prior to this game, table breaks are normally, they normally happen a very specific way, but now, as long as you hit it, the table's gonna break. Did they change the control? Maybe I'm tripping. Strong grapples, right? Blue superstar groggy. Oh, so it just has to be a groggy. Okay, I see what's happening. Okay, now since he's in a groggy state, like right here, so I'm already using his groggy state. Luckily, 12 they updated it in the next game. I wasn't near the ropes. Let's get out. Unfortunately, the weapon wheel doesn't exist yet, but you can still pull tables on one side, ladders on the other, and chairs at the top and bottom. I think you have like up to 4 tables at once before they start disappearing. They wanted you to stack them as well. Yes, this was the first game where you could stack tables. And yes, this game allowed you to throw chairs. It took a minute for them to bring it back. But this game allows you to throw chairs. And yep, you can reverse that. See, he landed, his leg kind of landed on his chair, and that's why he reacted to it. So everything has a reaction. So like this suplex, if I was near, I might keep doing that. I'm trying to get into a regular state. You see his leg just landed right on that chair. That's the physics engine right there. Everything matters. And now with this choke slam, boom, right on top of it. If I did a regular choke slam with this version of it, he would have flipped. But since that table was in the way, he landed exactly as he should have. And yes, you can do moves on ladders as well, and they will react. Every weapon has a reaction to it. So for example, once I do this, the ladder reacted. I mean, it took the current developers years for them to finally implement this back. But this is what people had so much fun with back in the day. Okay. Am I crazy? No. I know there's a way for me to, yeah, strike, chain. How do you force a, okay. Grapple is just regular chain grapple. Great physics indeed. Like this, I feel bad. You see, 2011, I feel bad for, because like I feel like I betrayed it when WWE 12 came out, but it's solely because of its universe mode. I had so much fun with this game in terms of its physics engine, because I know they kind of dialed it back a little bit after this game, but I mean there was still physics there were still physics engines. I mean, the physics was still in the game up until like 2K17, I believe, but they dialed it back compared to when they first started. See, right on top of the chair, compared to when they first started it. I guess I could have dived out there. But this obviously had the best one. 2K26, they added it. I mean, it's not as great as this one, but it's in the step in the right direction. I'm not gonna At least an attempt was made. And then through, boom, like, look at that. Crazy. The most craziest spots on YouTube come from this game. In terms of like extreme wrestling video game moments. They 100% come from this game. Now, it's one of the most famous spots, which I could probably set up, is or at least attempt to, is get him close to the table and then throw him out, and he could fall right on top of the table. And yes, you can just carry the table now and position it how you want. Probably gonna set it up right here. I don't know why he's following me. He could just, you know, surprise like he hasn't. I'm about to say, he could just pick up. I don't know what he's doing. Now he picks up the ladder. Could have been done that. Okay, we still have 2 ladders. Where's my extra table? It's gonna take a minute for. I guess they both had to disappear, but it's cool. I have to get the table from over here. Is John Cena as good? Is John Cena good as a bad guy or a good guy? I mean, that's up to preference, I guess. Did you like his original? Depending on if you grew up during the Ruthless Aggression era when he first started, did you like his original Thuganomics gimmick when he first started, when he was a heel? Because obviously that started as a heel thing, and then eventually became a. And yes, you can stack tables, a babyface thing. I think people obviously recognize him more as a. Some people are just universe. Okay, well, thanks, Edge. Some people are universally a good or bad guy. Like Triple H, for example, will always it was always better as a bad guy. Like Randy Orton is always better as a bad guy, despite people cheering him. It's just that's how it is. It's not a bad thing. It's just people like Kevin Owens will always be. I know people love and respect Kevin Owens. Like he's always a better bad guy. And Sami Zayn is mixed to me, for example. Like Sami Zayn, he can do both very well. People can get behind him when they really want to, because he just has that look where it's like, yeah, you get behind. He has like that everyday man look where you can just get behind him. But then you have people like Kevin Owens. Yes, he could be a good guy, but he's kind of an asshole. But he's a good asshole. I know that came out wrong, but hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And yes, this is where you could lean ladders. The start of leaning ladders started with this game. I'm gonna try to set up. Now, obviously, you can be a lot more creative when there's more people in the ring or just playing with a non-computer. I'm gonna try to set up in a way where Edge, and they boom, I'll try to set up in a way where I can push him off, and he should fall out the ring. Hopefully. Is that even in the current game? Can you like push people off, or it just falls? They just fall weird. I don't even remember. Can you like actually yeet or yeet or no yeet for me? I'm assuming you're talking about whether I like Jey Uso. I have no issue with Jey Uso. I know people hate him because they feel like they got like during the middle of 2025. Like I guess people are still upset that he won the Royal Rumble over John Cena, but it's like they weren't looking at the bigger picture. Like I think that's where the hate first started. Prior to him winning the Royal Rumble, no one had any issue with Jey Uso ever. So I'm gonna wait for him to hopefully come up, or he's gonna push me off because he's probably smarter than that. No. I wonder if I can see, I have it the wrong way. Had I had it the other way, I would have pushed him off, and he could have fell through those tables. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Switch it. Nope. Boom. Hopefully, this should bait him If I make him climb this way, perfect. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You guys about to see something fun. Damn it! He got to stay on there. All right. Come on. Get on top. I got to make him stay on there. But no, like, people, I have no issue with Jey Uso. I know people hate him because of that particular reason. But I personally... Now, he should fall right on those... Oh, come on. Still wasn't close enough. You got to be very close. It was close enough, but damn it. I feel like this ladder was in the way. If this stupid ladder was not in the way, he would have fell right out. Let's see. Come on, trying to get down. Come on. There we go. Boom. He should have went through both of them, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And plus now there's a new way to pull down the money in the bank briefcase. And what they're currently doing now with Jey Uso, he's back with Roman. So you're not a fan of Jey Uso. Again, I just feel like the Jey... I know you want to play every WWE game, but you should skip 2K. We have to. Because we kind of have to. Whoa, what the... Whoa! Yo, that has to be a highlight reel. Someone please save that. I did not know he could throw him that far. Please tell me. Yeah, no, we gotta... No, wait. That was crazy. I'm saving that. He just... Look at... I gotta save... Yeah, I'm saving this entire thing. Oh, yeah. Even... I gotta save that. That was awesome. This game's still surprising, but we have to back to that. Wasn't that every 2K games are the same? I think just roster update edges. Like, that was crazy. I might put that as like I might edit that clip eventually and put it as like a YouTube short. That was absolutely crazy. But to answer your question, leader of the Charisma Kids 2014, such a long name, but creative. To answer your question, we're going to, because again, I want to, we got to show the good and the bad. I know people crap on 2K20. The irony is 2K20 is a playable game now. And I would argue it's pretty much the same as 2K19. I know that's probably like, blasphemy talk, but it functions the same as 2K19. Just people didn't give it a chance because, it was broken the first time. It's the first impressions matter. Since it was broken the first time around, it took them like 6 months for it to be fully functional. People just went right back to 2K19. So, god damn it. There's no way Edge is going to win this after I just put him through all that hell. No way. No way. No. I am not going to let that happen. Through all the hell I just put him through. Let's see what happens. But, I mean, we're going to get to the point where they just blend into each other. There's a certain game that starts that trend in the 2K series where, oh, wait, he's pushing me. What? It's a certain trend when they just all start to blend into each other. There's really no difference outside of the roster update. I know people say that. It's like, was it? But no. Did you like WrestleMania 42? Again, I had no issue with it. I see why people had a problem. Pat McAfee being the main thing. In hindsight, because of Kairi Sane's release, I feel like the rumored match between Asuka and Io, which clearly was supposed to happen at WrestleMania, but they forced it to Backlash, should have happened. Edge, hurry up and get up here so I can do my finisher on you. Never mind. I played the ladder match against Edge. It was aggravating. Well, I think the ladder matches in 07 aggravates me because like just how long it takes to take down the thing. I know they wanted to make it a challenge, but there's certain ways to go about it. Like this system and the system that they currently have in the current games. I know they released main event Apollo Crews. I know. Again, my thoughts on the release is this is not to sound disingenuous. 41 is better. if I had to compare, well, first of all, to answer your question, Mustafa. Okay, something's about to happen here. In terms of, again, the releases, I know they suck, but we have to we have to live in a reality world, because the biggest issue is there's no live events. Live events were a big deal back in the day. It has nothing to do with just like Vince forced these people to work every day. It's just for any wrestling company. When you have a big roster, you need live events. Without live events, you can't justify paying half these people on the card. Even when 205 Live, I know it wasn't like the best show. They forced them to do live events for like those 2 weeks because they were trying to make money off of them. Without doing live events, there's no reason to keep half the roster. Well, he did. Remember, he did that crazy bump off Extreme Rules, but yeah, either way, it's called One Night Stand Extreme Rules. But without live events, there's no reason to keep half that roster. Again, I love Motor City Machine Guns. I know they were slowly doing some with Giant Gargano and Candice LeRae. I completely understand that. I was watching it week by week. With that said, realistically, the next time y'all going to see them in the ring was one of those live European tours that wasn't going to happen until like May 28th. So for an entire month, you're going to be paying those people that just got released for doing absolutely nothing. TKO is not in the business of that. Back in the day, could afford to. I mean, it's not like they can't afford to do that, but it just logistically doesn't make any sense anymore. They have it's about profits and return. You want to have as much money as possible with the least money going out. If you can do that by cutting half the roster, that's going to be a thing. So hopefully I answer your question. I like the Apollo Crews. I like everyone. Hey, I'm still peeved off that they released Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. Here's reality of the situation. I know this is going to be a hot take. Everyone who got released did not make a difference in the company. Like, the ratings are not going to tank because the ratings aren't going to tank because Kairi Sane left. Let's be real, guys. I know I like Kairi Sane to death. She's great, but there's nothing's going to change. I know they were changing it. Within a week, no one's going to care. It'll be great if she comes back at Backlash, like be an R-Truth situation over again, but that's just not going to happen. So hopefully I answered your question there. I want to make sure I answered everybody. Did you like Mania 40? I already answered that. Cruise 41 was better. I liked 41's main event I would say between Roman Reigns and CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, I do prefer that one, the triple threat, instead of the single. I mean, both matches were great. It was something about that triple threat fatal 4-way. I don't think anyone thought it was going to be as good as it was, and it was. Yeah, Edge, I saved that clip. You got to rewind and say, like, he flew. This is why this game is so incredible. You never know what you're going to get out of this game. This game is so incredible. And you said Triple H's not good. Well, that's not true. You can't dictate a certain part of his story, of his creative work, and use it as as like an excuse to say, oh, well, all of his work that he's done so far is bad. Again, I think people tend to forget he wrote the WrestleMania 40 storyline. He wrote the end. Like, he wrote that. Like, people still reference that as the best WrestleMania of all time ending, rightfully so. So it's like, you can't just dismiss all of that. Now we're going to use Armageddon Hell in a Cell, because now this game has, Hell in a Cell has been my favorite match type of all time, and they finally made it realistic. So I always love this Hell in a Cell. I hate the current Hell in a Cell. We are not going to be a Druid. We're going to be, who should I be? Should I be Jack Swagger? Why not? Why not? The All-American American. I feel like I shouldn't, but we'll beat All-American American. I just want to showcase the new Hell in a Cell. We were just Edge. We'll use Evan Bourne. This match is going to be crazy. Rob Van Dam, yes, he's in this game, despite the fact that he's in TNA at the time. The personification of domination, Ezekiel Jackson. Yes, I still remember that. Hold on, the chat. Triple H is not a good boss. Everybody is. Undertaker taking, yeah. All I hear is Cody's theme right now. Really? Is it playing? It shouldn't be playing. If the music's playing, I'm screwed. Hopefully the music's not playing. Or you're just saying reference it because of this was dashing Cody Rhodes. Hopefully the music's not playing. I don't hear it. It's not about realism, about fun. And that's what I always, and again, that's what frustrates me. That's what frustrates me with the current game. They have I don't know what no, it's muted. Okay, thank God. I was like, I'm getting copyright the hell with this live stream. Thank you, guys. And John Cena, because he's probably going to win this match anyway. It's muted. I appreciate it. All right, but yeah. That's what frustrates me about the current games. It's like, I want a realistic, I mean, the Hell in a Cell that we currently have sucks. You can't do anything. They took it out in 2K19 because they wanted to make it more accurate and more realistic. Yo, I got Match Next, you do. I mean, if you have Xbox 360, we can probably, I'll have no problem buying Xbox Gold real quick so you can play online, because yes, the servers still work. We're going to have at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We're going to just showcase this new Hell in a Cell. In my mind, no, it's, but yeah, it's just, there's a certain line where it's like, you got to just make things more fun. But then you have stupid paybacks where you can do this mystical stuff and do street. What is it that 2K wants? What pay-per-view they should bring back? Actually, looking at this list before we go into that, that's a good question. So, obviously, there's no need, as AAA said, and I agree with this. The gimmick pay-per-views outside of the Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank made no sense, and I 100% agree. It devalued the actual match type, because this is needed, even though they could have just kept it as No Way Out or New Year's resolution. I mean, like, they could have kept those names, but I understand this aspect. Great Balls. I actually, again, I'm not even trolling. I like the aesthetic of the show. I know the name is stupid, but it's like, everyone was saying it. It was just, I died laughing when Samoa Joe said if I had Great Ball. I was dying laughing. Those were the days, man. I'm telling you, those were the freaking days. That Forces War Games. No. I'm going to tell you why I have no issue with Survivor Series being War Games. I'm going to tell you that in a second. But before that, when it comes to Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank, I think we could, I think we could all agree those have to stay, because realistically, no one's going to challenge someone into a Money in the Bank match, and no one's going to challenge someone in an Elimination Chamber match. That I completely understand. So those have to stay regardless. Does it have to be called that? Maybe not, but you might as well call it that. So those have to stay. Hell in a Cell never made any sense to me. TLC never made any sense to me. Extreme Rules never made any sense to me. In terms of an actual name, bragging rights they could bring back if they actually start doing Raw versus SmackDown again. I don't see that happening for foreseeable future. Night of Champions, I think they should bring it back, because it's a perfect time. Obviously, we only have like 5. I know they have Night of Champions technically already. I'm talking about the actual Night of Champions, because now it'd be an excuse to have every single title. They have like 10 titles, the perfect show to do it. And you could do a 2-night, again, I know this is going to sound crazy, a 2-night Night of Champions event, because I know Triple H likes doing 5 to 6 matches per show. God forbid he does 10. I know he doesn't want to go as long as AEW. I get that. So with that said, how many titles are on top of the main roster? I think you could justify having both nights for them doing Vance Archer. We're gonna go over the roster a little bit and feed things like the main. They were so, because again, everyone, I mean, goes to show again. Plus the music from Jim Johnson compared to what we have now. I mean, CFO is great. Def Rebel is hit or miss. Either they make good songs. Yeah, he is. I don't think he does anything. When was the last time you saw Vance Archer on AEW? Is in Dom Callis family. Everyone's in the Dom Callis family. At least, again, my brother's a huge fan of AEW, so I don't know anything that happens outside of him telling me what happens. Unless something really blew up. Cyber Sunday, it will never work, because people would just troll. Unfortunately, stuff like that. I know I'm talking too much. Yes, we're gonna have elimination. No, we're not doing that. We're actually going to do this. We're gonna look at some of the entrances as well. But yeah. I think Night of Champions should be brought back, but the answer, who said something about, I missed that. I know I went off topic. Survivor Series War Games, who said that? I saw something about that. Triple H says that they force War Games. It's not that they force it, it's just, there's value. It's just a certain way of going about it. If the storyline, for example, look at this year's, I mean, I know the WrestleMania just ended, now we're in a new season. I can totally see Fatal Influence, for example, being part of War Games. You just got to tell the rights. I can already see it being built up that way. As long as you have a story, the issue is currently, and it's a hard thing. Back in the day, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know who was alive during the 2000s, you know, the Attitude Era. You had, for like 6 months, 6 people feuding, right? War Games should be elimination. What do you mean? In terms of like people getting eliminated one by one, but then it'll devalue Elimination Chamber, so I can't really do it like that. I'm gonna tell you, this is what I mean. There has to be a fine line of long-term storytelling. This is very hard to do in current climate. What do I mean? Had the best entrance in this game. Oh yeah, we're about to show it off. Unless we just missed it. I'm Jack Swagger. We just missed it. Yeah, he had the hands down. Like, again, I know people joke on Jack Swagger, but he was like the superstar. He had the look. Vince made a world heavyweight champion. I know people hate it, but like he had the look. He was a superstar. Vince knew how it was. He put the machine with you, like he will push you as much as he can to make money off of you. Same thing with Sin Cara, which we'll talk about in the next game, to the point that he had a freaking cover, which is hilarious. But for anyone born in the year 2000, right? Or not born, who's watching wrestling in the year 2000, there was like 6 people who feuded through the entire year. Who was it? The Rock. He just won slap boxing the other day. Oh, he is? The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and then they eventually added Rikishi later in the mix. But those people were feuding with each other the entire year. So you know what they did at the end? December, Armageddon, they put them all together into a Armageddon Hell in a Cell match for the long-term storytelling. Can you do Kane versus CM Punk match? I will do it next just because you asked me, but this isn't really about match requests. We have like a set time. I always try to go for like 2 hours for these streams, so I got to showcase everything. But since you did ask, I will do it next just because you asked. But almost died, I remember. Yeah, I remember that spot. Fun fact, that was the event where Undertaker debuted Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, that exact event too. But the point I'm trying to make is you can do war games can work if you have a long-term story. Between 2022 to 2024, there were long-term stories where the war game match made sense. For 2022, is obvious. Let me be clear. Maybe not the women's. You can argue that, but more so the men than the women's. But it was certain cases. Remember the Bloodline, the whole Bloodline story on SmackDown with Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. It all made sense, and Kevin Owens. It all made sense for that war games match to happen. When the year when CM Punk came back, the Judgment Day versus the Raw roster, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, it made sense because they were feuding with each other the entire year. The War Games match between Bloodline versus Bloodline, again, it makes sense if they have a long-term story. Do him after Ezekiel Dax versus Cody Rhodes. Out there. Again, I'm going to take the first request. If I have time, I'll do the other one a little bit later, but there's still some stuff we got to go over with this game. But I will do it. Rikishi almost died. Yeah, so we're going to talk about DLC. Yes, I have all of the season pass, the fan access DLC, but you know what I don't have? The pre-order bonus for Bret Hart, and I'm still peeved off about that. But yes, this game was the first time they expanded Hell in a Cell. Again, look at this Hell in a Cell. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm tripping, right? I'm about to lose my mind. I know I'm going crazy. But we're gonna free cam. Where's the free cam? I'm about to lose my mind. Oh god, I'm about to lose my mind. Can I do the free cam? Okay. Where's the free cam? Free cam. See how much space we have, right? You guys are seeing this? Look how much space. Why is it with this much space, right? Look. I know I'm going crazy, but look, you see how much space this is? Why is it we cannot have this space? You see how much space this is? This is a perfectly enough space where people can be outside and still climb on top of it, right? No matter what side, right? Look, I'm not tripping. Am I tripping? Am I tripping, chat? So why is it that the current games, you can't have weapons outside of this spot? And you can't do moves on this spot except for hitting this? Who's making these games? Why is it that a game in 2010 understood how to make a Hell in a Cell match? Now you're not tripping. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not crazy. Why is it that there's enough space? I'm about to take out a weapon and leave it right there, and it can stay right there, and you can still have enough room to walk over here. Even an announce table. There's 2 announce tables. What are we doing? It's literally the accurate representation of what the Hell in a Cell size was. But yet, for some reason, once we get to 2K19, this is all going to disappear. I just have to point this out. My apologies. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Look at this. I'm going to pull out a chair, and this is going to be crazy. This is going to be foreign in the year 2026. Oh, look at that. I can stay out there. Crazy. But, yeah. So back to the War Games thing. War Games, I have no issue with Survivor Series being War Games every year. It's just you have to have a long-term story. So prediction. I think for the women's War Game story, from how it's looking, Fatal Influence is definitely going to be a part of that. Whatever happened, I mean, anyone else, I don't know, but Fatal Influence is definitely going to be a part of that. I can already see it. For the men's, I don't know. It doesn't look like a. I don't know how the men's is gonna be looking. Maybe Cody versus Randy if it gets that far. And like, look at it. I got so much space to beat the hell out of Cena out here. I could freely walk around as it should. I can do any move I want. You could do your finisher out here. You could literally do any move you want. Come on. Well, once you get, you gotta, yeah. Let me rephrase that. You can do every move you want, but you just gotta turn. You have enough space to use weapons out here and everything. But why can I do the same exact thing? So I know it's in a groggy state. You can do your finishers out here. Once you're in it like a groggy state, yeah. See? The normal moves they're gonna use to sell, like stuff like this. So much space. And now everyone, all 6 of us, I know this is so crazy. All 6 of us are out here. New Japan Evil debut on NXT. He did? I mean, I know I'm coinciding. He did? That's cool. I mean, I don't know if people hate spoilers, but I don't mind. Cause I knew, if you haven't noticed, I've been purposely streaming on 8 o'clock just because I just feel like it was the right time to do it. So I'm fully aware of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT happening. Even WrestleMania was happening while I was streaming. I expected him to be on NXT. Once I didn't see him on Raw or SmackDown, he had to show up on NXT because I don't know where else if he didn't show up on the Raw after WrestleMania or the SmackDown after WrestleMania. So that's actually cool that he showed up then. Oh, look, another chair. And everyone could be right there in that little pocket and go crazy. Now, I believe Jack Swagger has, does he? What is Jack Swagger's finisher? I feel like it would be like Team Sephiroth's division. I can see it, but I feel like here, that would be an interesting story. That would be like, see, I do my finisher right outside the ring. Boom. That's actually a very interesting story. The only problem I see is that I guess this could be Seth's redemption story. He has to show that he's a good guy now. He has to recruit the people that he screwed over. So I can see that team being Jey Uso. I can see that team being LA Knight, which would be very interesting. Him and LA Knight. And who else? Because 5-on-5, right? So Seth, Jay, unless Jay's still involved with the bloodline. Seth, Jay, CM Punk. That's going to be the real deal. Him and CM, that's the money. See, that's the money right there. Him and CM Punk fighting side by side. If they play it right, they could really sell that to me against Division. So him, Seth, Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, one more person. I don't know who that next person would be on the Raw roster. I don't know. Throw in someone new. Penta, Javon Evans. Why not? Throw in Javon Evans, right? Something like that. Okay, Ezekiel Jax, you're going to be the sacrificial lamb of me. We got to get out of this cell. Okay, I'm stuck being here. So we're going to get out of here. But that's just personally me. I feel like that would be a great 5-on-5 war games. For the women, all I know is going to involve Fatal Influence. That's all I know. I just got to get my finisher up, and then we are out of here. So you can do a regular move right outside the cell without an issue. All right, pick up. Whoa, I apologize for that lag. There we go. Now get him out. The gut wrench power. But yeah, they would do it outside. Boom. Roman can't be on the team too if you don't have the title. If he doesn't have the title, then I would 100% agree. If he does have the title, I mean, I had no issue with the people being the War Games with titles last year because they wanted to make the All-Star team. I truly felt like the true All-Star team, no offense to the Usos. Here's what it should have been. I know people are involved in storyline. The All-Star team for Survivor Series should have been on the bad guy side was accurate. Everyone was correctly positioned. whether Austin Theory was in or not, sure, whatever. But I feel like everyone else was accurate. The men's side should have been Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, John Cena, and LA Knight. That should have been the team. I know they wanted to add the Usos, and now in hindsight, it makes sense due to the current story. But I just feel like the all-star team with John Cena, but I know he was with Dominic. It is what it is. If John Cena didn't care about winning the Intercontinental title, he should have 100% been in that War Games match. Just my opinion. Can someone climb up here so I could put him through the goddamn cell? What are we doing here, people? One of you have to climb up. Watch John Cena wait. I love doing the push-ups. He's gonna win. I know Cena's gonna win because somehow I know Cena's gonna win. LOL. He's gonna win. He somehow is gonna take advantage of this. Like he's about to pin right now. Okay. Watch them do Seth Punk on the same word. That's what I want to happen. That's perfect story. I feel like I'm not saying they've done as much as they could. Unfortunately, we're never gonna get Seth versus Punk for the World Heavyweight title. That is come and going. I don't see any situation that happening. It was supposed to happen at WrestleMania before Punk got injured. We were supposed to get another match with them at Saturday Night Main Event for the title. Before Seth got injured. We're just never going to get it. We are never gonna get it. And I can live with that. I know how you feel. I was playing, the same thing happened to me. Oh, no one's like climbing the cell. What? Ezekiel! What are you doing? How does Cena already have 3 finishers? That's actually crazy. He's about to spam the hell out of those finishers. Okay, screw it. I'm jumping down. Can I jump down? I want to try. Am I allowed to jump down? RVD, come on, bro. Just climb. You see, I'm allowed to, like, it just frustrates me when I see this Hell in a Cell. Oh, someone's right here. I'm trying to run. Evan Bourne, if you don't get your ass. And you can break the table off and everything. Like, there's so much room. I don't never understood why they did not keep this Hell in a Cell. It makes no sense to me. There's more than enough room for everyone. RVD, climb up. Christian, climb up. Someone, for fuck's sake. You guys suck. I think I have it on normal. I should have had it on Legends. They would have been more prone to or Cena. Come on, Cena. He's facing. It's cool. You know what? It's fine. Sometimes it is what it is. I still don't know how your channel got recommended to me. Well, I just appreciate you being here. How the recommendation system works on YouTube is based on what you watch. So run and press X. Damn, they're really chanting. Oh, there you go, RVD. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm following you. I'm right there with you, bro. Just stay right there. Just stay right there. Please do not come down. Please do not. Bruh. Bruh. Oh, I can't. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on, guys. I've been waiting to get in this Hell in a Cell match forever, and you guys are ruining it. I think I know the issue. We got to break this other side because I feel like they're so dumb. We're going to have to break. I know this is going to be stupid. We're going to have to break this other side so this is not in the way. Actually, screw it. I'm just going to win this match. Hold on. I'm just going to take advantage of this real quick. We're going to do that all-American... Nope, Christian. Nope. Nope. You stay over there. Damn it. I so close. Oh, come on. Let me. Oh, now you want to do a double team? Unfortunately, it's not the game where you can break up stuff. Is everyone about to go airborne? But yeah, they really need to bring this one back. What's up, Giga? I don't believe I've ever seen you here before. Appreciate you stopping by. So what's everyone's current memory or favorite memory of SmackDown versus Raw 2011? I try to ask that with every game. Again, I love the universe mode. We're gonna get to that eventually. I love the original Road WrestleMania that you could walk around and stuff. They need to bring stuff like this back. It's the blueprint is there to make the perfect wrestling game because it's the stuff that they made before. And then you have someone who's literally worked on these games before, Brian Williams there. He should be the lead director. He's not though. Whoever's the stupid, who is it? Lionel Jinx? Take him out. I don't care about him. Screw him. Brian Williams, he's been here long enough. He knows what these games are. Make him the lead director of this game. And let's just go crazy. We're slow again, like, oh hell no. He's about to take pit. No, Evermore, you are not winning this match. The Road to WrestleMania. Again, one of my favorite modes. And again, Christian as the Road to WrestleMania. So good. It was so hard to unlock legends. You should find Easter eggs in Road to WrestleMania mode. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just had the accelerator, if you bought it, you already unlocked legends if you just bought it. That's what I did, but I just still went through the mode because again, it was the first of its time, the fan access thing, unlocking everything. Nope, that ain't gonna work. And no, I mean, unlocking people universe mode though was cool. Like certain people like Goldust and whatnot, you unlock them through there. I swear they take so long to get to 3. I feel like they do it on purpose. Gut wrench. You can make full WWE SmackDown Raw 2011 today. What do you mean? In terms of like, I mean, yes, they did bring back the physics, kind of ragdoll physics, whatever you want to call it. Oh, that was the first try too. I love how everyone can get into the ring perfectly fine, but no one wants to go on top of the Hell in a Cell, which is fine. Whatever, it's cool. Oh, double choke slam. Message redirected. Oh yeah, I forgot you could heal in this game. I apologize for this. Man, it's taking longer than it should. I'm just gonna let Christian win. Screw it. Just win, Christian. There you go. But 2011's gameplay was so easy. You could pin and win anytime. You didn't need to perform finisher. And trust me, I'm on normal difficulty right now. Bump it up to Legends. That's not happening. It has to end on a why does Miz look like MJF in the thumbnail? I tried. So the issue with this game is the lighting. I tried to get the perfect Miz thumbnail. I mean, the best picture I can get without the lighting being in the way. That was the best one I could get. So the angle might make him look like MJF, but I'm just saying I tried. So we're gonna take a quick detour, guys. That took a lot of time. We're gonna take up a quick detour. We're gonna go into the shop and talk about essentially the way DLC is structured. Started right here. If you're wondering how it started, the shop. And unfortunately, yeah, you can't do internet connects, blah, blah, blah. The online access. So yes, there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, where you actually had to pay for online despite the fact of you having Xbox. I know PlayStation was free at the time, but for Xbox players, you actually had to pay. Well, for games in general, this was back in the time where online, you had to just pay for it. There were two separate things, online access and the season pass. I know it's a strange time. You had to pay for online just to play online. It's actually crazy. But the DLC and then just the fan access part right here. This was essentially the season pass, what it's called, the season pass. And then the accelerator, which is called all unlockables. And yes, back then you actually had to pay money for the superstar attribute customizer. It wasn't much. It was like $1, I believe. So like it wasn't that bad, but this is just the I just wanted to show you, yes, all this stuff that is pretty common. I've never seen this menu. Never seen this menu? Then allow me to show it to you more. Where is, but I gotta, one moment. I get something else set up on the next screen before I show you guys. Like, this is how it was. Like, yes, there was free DLC. That I know that's crazy concept nowadays, thanks to the was the ringside pass. I know this completely. I know. What are your thoughts based now? I mean, I guess it's a perfect opportunity to talk about it since this is the first game you have DLC, like season pass and whatnot. What are your thoughts on the ringside pass? I know the majority of people hate it, but people are currently here. What are your thoughts on it? I'm assuming you guys at least saw 2K26 or play it. What are your thoughts on the ringside pass? I don't inherently have the issue, but it's what's in there is what I have an issue with, because again, it's like such a disconnect of what people want. In 2015, you need to buy online, even though to use community create. I know it's crazy. You had to buy at a certain point. Just wanted to show you menu, yes, chat, and whatnot. Then you can have discounted DLC. Too much grinding. I know it's gonna sound crazy. I don't have the, because again, I play other games besides wrestling. I'm pretty sure everyone else does too. Like for example, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So anyone that want to add me on Steam or whatever, go and do that. And I play Pokemon Unite. They have the equivalent of the battle pass or whatever it's called. But it makes sense for them. The problem with our battle pass is two things. Obviously, our games come out every year, so it's kind of a pointless endeavor anyway. So there's that part. The second thing is, for most of it, it's just my faction and island stuff. I think they have this weird. This is just me, the little rant. I think they have this weird, very weird notion that the majority of the people who play wrestling game like my faction in the island. I don't care. I just don't care. They like, yes, I'm totally going to grind just for a cosmetic item and a collectible card game microtransaction. What, like, who are we kidding here? If they would, because I have the PSP version, I did not have this. We're gonna showcase the PSP version in a second, but I feel bad for you, man. You never played the console version of this game? That sucks. I would say emulate it, legally, of course. But I know the Xbox 360 PS3 versions of these emulations aren't that good. So I found a copy for like $10 at GameStop. So if you're just lucky, if you just have a PS3 Xbox 360 sitting around, do that. But just the DLC, I just want to showcase it right here. Available at launch. Bret Hart. I stay up at night because this is the only game where I do not have a complete roster. What do I mean? I pre-ordered every WWE game prior to this except for 2011 because of personal real life situation. Because of this, I couldn't get the Bret Hart DLC. I mean, the pre-order bonus. They said they were going to make it available after launch. They never did. They never made him available after launch, so I got screwed. I must stress, Bret Hart's actually in the game. He's on disc. This is not like they add him later. He was physically on the disc. It's locked out of the disc because of the stupid pre-order bonus bullcrap. Meaning, despite him physically being in the game, because of the stupid code, I am not allowed to access him. So if someone has a random code lying around that's unopened, unused, I would appreciate if you give it to me on Xbox 360 so I can finally unlock Bret Hart. The Hurricane too. Well, the difference is the Hurricane's in the game, but they took him out. They took him out intentionally, despite them being in the company, which made no sense. Bret Hart's situation there, he's a pre-order bonus. I can't access him in the pre-order game, even though he's literally in the goddamn game. He's literally in the game. It's so frustrating. But the DLC, Chris Masters, he was also physically in the game, but they purposely made him DLC. But at least because they wanted to do the whole fan access thing or the online, a reason for you. I guess they thought for some reason for the incentivized people buying online, they thought Chris Masters was the idea of Chris Masters being the incentive to get online access is interesting to say the least. And then you also got Kelly Devil attire, Rey Mysterio's alternate Halloween attire, and the online access stuff. For DLC 2, this was the big one. The British Bulldog, David Otunga, Justin Gabriel, Layla, Lex Luger, and Wade Barrett, the Nexus. Obviously, for those who lived in the time, the original person was supposed to be Wade Barrett, David Otunga, and Daniel Bryan. But due to Daniel Bryan getting fired and then rehired 2 months later, that close window got him replaced by Justin Gabriel. It was supposed to be Daniel Bryan, though. And we're going to look at the cut content to showcase that it was actually supposed to be Daniel Bryan in a little bit. And then the other roster, which was just alternate attires, basically. It was John Cena, The Undertaker, the American Badass, as well as the WCW arena. So if you are a fan of the WCW arena still in this, still to this day in the games, it started with this game. Wait, was it? isn't Wade Barrett in the main game? No, he's DLC. So if you don't have him as DLC, he's not in the main game. This was the Nexus pack. Yeah, no. The NXT arena was added with this as well. So nope. You had to buy it. And the attribute customizer, all that good stuff. And now again, speaking of console differences, we are going to look at the differences between the final entry of the PS2 and era and whatnot. So just to quickly show you guys what I'm talking about. Again, so here's how the PSP version looked. I had them in PSP. Really? There must have been DLC. Really? That's interesting because it should have been DLC. Are you sure you're not playing a modded version of it? I mean, again, I never had PSP version. I had to look that up. So here's how the PSP version looked. I mean, it's not bad. Again, PS2 version. As I always say, there's something about the details of the PS2 versions of the title that will always look better than the Xbox 360 and PS3. They finally got it right in 12, but up until now, the titles that we got in the Xbox 360 and PS3 version, they sucked, as you're about to see. Well, no, they're going to show the Wii version. The Wii version was obviously the best version of between the Wii, the PS2, and PSP. The Wii version actually looked the best. But then once you get to, like, I don't know, what is it about these titles? Like, first of all, they were small, and just the detail is too yellow for me. It's better. I think we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison. I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. We're about to look at that right now. So here's the PSP version. So here's the PSP version. I never played this version. Obviously, the only version I ever played was the Xbox 360, so that's how this currently looks. Here's the PS2 version. Because you have to remember, the PS2 version and the Wii versions was using the SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 engine. They weren't using the Havoc engine that started in 2010. That's partly the reason why it looks like this and the Superstars look like this. And they're still using the 2009 engine. And then I feel like the Wii version looks better. It's like the best version of the Wii, PS2, and PSP, obviously. Like, it's just something, there's more detail with the Wii, even though it looks like, it's hard to explain. I just feel like the models look better on the Wii. Oh, it's not the PSP version? I don't think it had DLC, personally. So we're just going to do a quick side-by, I know this video, so side-by-side. You see the Wii, PS2, and PSP. Obviously, the PS2 is like the most, it's the most sharpened version of the two. The PS2 version looks very shadowy. The Wii version looks like the most sharper. The graphics, I mean, the Wii, no, so the thing is, the Wii and PS2 version are exactly the same graphics. The Wii version just is just a tad bit sharper, as you can just see it. They're clear as day. The PS3 Xbox 360 version, finally, again, for those who've been watching the 2008 stream to now, they finally figured out how to have the correct lighting for both for the PS3 version, so now it looks identical. Before, for some reason, the colors were just washed out or taken out, drained out is the best way of saying it, in the PS3 versions of these games, but with SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, they finally looked like as it should. It's just the PS3 version looks, the shadows of it is a tad bit more on here than the ref looks like young Shane. He does. I have a PS3, but I don't have the game. Well, again, just $10 somewhere. I'm pretty sure someone's selling on eBay for like $10 at this point. It's a good game. I wouldn't have rebought it myself. I love 2011. I thought it was a great game before 12 came out. But I liked it. And then one more thing, the cut content. Now, this game is notorious for a lot of things. As you mentioned, in terms of the prototype, we'll look at that. Nothing really. It was just certain CSV files for certain superstars. The cut superstars. Let's talk about it. 4 cut superstars, which was Tommy Dreamer, Carlito, the Great Khali, and the Hurricane. The reason why these 4 are significant is because they were literally in the game. They were cut due to whatever reason, to the point that in the road to WrestleMania, which we'll be looking at one of them, by the way. Yeah, we're going to be looking at one of them, by the way. Their names are on the match board. So they got to the point that they were supposed to be in the game. Now, I know this says that they're in Tommy Dreamer and Carlito can appear in story designer. I know it says that. I don't think that's true, but we're gonna look at that. They can be chosen character story designer. I do not think that's true. I've never seen a model of Tommy Dreamer in Carlito, Kali, and Dreamer. Or something they're saying that did it. I'm like 100% sure that's not the case. There's a video of Carlito we're about to see that he was in the game. But yeah. And here are the other names that were in creative entrance, which means that they were at some, well, they're not, their entrances. These names are in the entrances, but the files is there. Hey, bro, I know I haven't commented in a while, but I still enjoy your content. Oh no, I appreciate Wrestling IG. I mean, as you can see, I've been busy doing this event. And you talk about my documentary for Here Comes the Pain. Yes, I mean, it's being worked on. I just wanted to take a break just to kind of know working on that documentary is going to be a while. So I just wanted to do something before I probably disappear for like 3 months again and work on it. I'm going to figure it out. The Road Wrestler, yeah, I think I saw Chris Masters on the whiteboard as well. But yeah, that's the thing. Chris Masters was supposed to physically be in the game, but they took him out and purposely made him DLC. That's what I'm trying to say. There was certain superstars, like at the last minute, they made either DLC pre-order bonus like Bret Hart, or they just took him out. So here it is. Carlito, JBL, who's not in the game, Jeff Hardy, which is interesting. Jeff Hardy is a very interesting one because that must have been super late. Because, well, actually, the fact that they still had him in there, obviously he left the year before, but I just found that very interesting with Jeff Hardy. The fact that they still had him in the file. The Great Khali, the Hardys, Tommy Dreamer, Kalen Croft, and Trent Beretta, you know, the Do Busters, Chris Masters, the Hurricane. We're going to talk about more about Hurricane in a second. Tyler Rex, Bret Hart, Bob Orton, and Dusty Rhodes. So they were going to probably port him over from 2010. Same thing with the $1 Million Man and then Carlito Primo. So in terms of the Hurricane, again, if you play Rey Mysterio Road to WrestleMania, he is physically there. He has voice acting and everything. His whole character is there. So obviously, if you hack the game, you can use that model of the Hurricane. It's completed and everything. They have his Titantron in the PS2 version, but we're not going to play obviously due to copyright reason. But like he is Hurricane, not only is in the game, he's like 100% a full-fledged model. You can use him in everything. He is voice acting and everything. I do not understand why they took him out, because he was still in the company at the time. So it's like it doesn't make any sense. By the time this game came out, he was technically still in the company. So it was one of those, why? I don't know. But in terms of Carlito, his model is on the disc and you can access through hacking, but we're about to look at it right here. Thanks to Ibusa with the WCW arena, which was DLC. HC Carlito's right there. It's the same model from 2010. Who in the jobber land of love is Trent Beretta? You don't remember the Do Busters? Him and they were on ECW at first. You see, I was an ECW stan back when Christian was on it. They started off on ECW, then they briefly was on SmackDown for a tag team run. I think they released Kalen Croft, and they were going to do something with Trent Beretta, but they just never did enough with him on SmackDown. They just eventually end up releasing him as well. Who in the jobber land loves Trent Beretta? That's funny. But yeah, see, Carlito, I mean, he's on the disc in this game, but you just can't access him. And then unused entrance videos. Like I said, Chris Masters, I think as you alluded to, Chris Masters and Bret Hart was going to be available as unlockable characters, but the decision was made to make them downloadable content instead. Why? I do not know. And because of that, I don't have Bret Hart in this game. It frustrates the hell out of me, as I have an incomplete roster. So the version differences, I mean, you could just see it side by side. We already saw it. PS2 version, PlayStation Portal, good lord, and the Wii. How was it playing it on the PSP? It's just fascinating looking at that. Never heard of him. It was back in 2009 and 10. I mean, unless you were watching back then on SmackDown, I don't expect you to remember. But I'm just telling you who he was. It's not like they were on top of the tag team division by any means. For God's sake, they have Vance Archer in here. I know he did more than them, but I'm just saying, like, they were in that category of the bottom of the barrel. So these are the differences in versions. And it said the Wii, even though they're both the Wii and PS2 versions are the same, the Wii is just running at a slightly higher frame rate. And then obviously PSP, they only have the in-game soundtrack, all that good stuff. Now this was very interesting to me, this bottom part, the unused sounds. So here are the ring announcer sounds of stuff that obviously alludes to some stuff in the next game. But so Champions of Champions, Well, A, that refers to the title from 2010. Katie Lee, which is very interesting. She could have been in the game, but I don't know why they would have put her in there. So that's Mick Foley, who ends up being DLC in the next game. Sandman, I was shocked about. He was already going for the company at this point. Why is they have an audio file of him? I have no idea. Vader, who ends up being in the next game. Tommy Dreamer as hardcore champion. I mean, I guess. Raven was very interesting to me. I guess he was going to be part of the WCW roster. So, because he was obviously on WCW at one point. The Lumberjack, I'm assuming Lumberjack match, Jesse and Festus, you know, Luke Gallows is in the game. And then you have Charlie Haas. How is Charlie Haas sound file still in here? Despite he was 2009's DLC, so there's that. I just wanted to go over that. What else is there? Hold up. And just a quick detour from there. So now we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Here. Now, there was another, before we get into Road to WrestleMania Universe mode, it's going to take up the majority of our time. I want to show you the superstar management. So this was where, so pretty much how the current games are, you pick a superstar. Remember, you had to pay for the attribute customizer. You pick anyone, Alicia Fox. You can pick which brand they're on, the title. Yes, there was only 2 women's titles back then. Now you can update their attributes, their abilities. She only had 1, but you can actually add 1. Obviously, I know nowadays they don't have abilities. Their allies, all of this is in one spot. This is where it pretty much started. Although this game, this was connected to the universe mode. I'll talk more about universe mode when we get there. Pick CM Punk first. Oh yeah, that was the match. No. Someone, as I said, no. I apologize. Who was it? Nate. He asked first. We're going to do. I knew I was off track on something. What did he ask? Where is it? What match did he ask for? What match did he ask for? I apologize. I went completely off topic. That tends to happen when you're live, but it's okay. What match did he ask for? Anyone remember what match he asked for? Huh. Kane versus CM Punk. It was Kane versus CM Punk. As I said, if I have time, I will do match requests later. But since he asked, since he was the first one to ask, I'm just gonna give him that. Was it Kane versus CM Punk? Where's CM Punk? And yes, I have his t-shirt, and he should be mask as well. Last game to have this fire burns before it became DLC Nightmare in my faction. So sad. So sad. There's still much. So I'm gonna fix that. It's cool. Oh, why not do Match Creator? So brand new thing, Match Creator, right? So, and why not use to its full potential? We're gonna have CM Punk versus Actually, I'll test this out later. So this is where this basically started Match Creator. So entrances and whatnot. You keep that. Best 2 out of 3 falls. We're not gonna do that with them. Actually, we'll do a finisher match, perform finisher to win. Why not? Never mind. DQ, you get the idea. All that good stuff. It started in this game. And yes, this was when it was a straight edge society. Oh yeah, he is the World Heavyweight Champion in this game. Which goes, so that means this game was finalized at SummerSlam, basically. Oh no, wait a minute. No, that's not accurate. When did this game come out in 2010, right? No, this game was finalized the summer 2010. Who was World Heavyweight Champion? I think he's just World Heavyweight Champion because of my universe mode. Ignore that. Who were the default champions in this game? I believe it was... Who were the default champions in this game, now that I think about it? I gotta look that up. I know it wasn't CM Punk. It couldn't have been. Okay, this game came out 2010. It would have to be either Kane. It was either Kane or Rey Mysterio who would have been World Heavyweight Champion. And in terms of the WWE title... Was it The Miz? No, it was Sheamus. It was either Sheamus or Sheamus or Randy Orton. One of those two had the title. My money's on Sheamus being the WWE champion at the time. I really had to think about that. CM Punk with this look is it's so weird looking at CM Punk with hair nowadays. And yes, this was the game that started the pin combinations. It started in this game right here. A lot of stuff started in this game, now that I think about it. And this is the last game where they don't immediately get up after doing a move, because the new game has a completely brand new engine, all that good stuff. So you guys don't have to worry about that. If you swipe down the right stick, you see your universe data will transfer to you, right? I hated that. I'm not gonna lie, it confused. I'm so glad they fixed it in 12, Slade. I'm so glad they did. Because me and my brother, we were basically doing like a career mode with our creative superstars. He was on SmackDown, I was on Raw, which is so funny because we both won the United States Intercontinental title. So came Survivor Series, we had our champion versus champion. It was so, listen, they don't make this, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind when we get into universe mode and I talk about the current ones. Oh my God, I can't. And all the submissions were mapped out with the basically R3. Where the hell did Rey Mysterio come from? I didn't call for him. I guess because, again, he's an enemy. I'm assuming he's an enemy of myself because based on the timing. Why is Rey here, right? Luckily, he can't do anything because... Wait, where is Rey? Where'd he go? He's a quick little guy. Wait, where'd he go? Am I tripping? Oh, he's right there. Go ahead, touch me. Give me DQ, bro. I mean, no, he should have. Why is he not DQ? Wait, Gal, what's going on? I didn't call for these people. Yeah, I'm doing your match request, man. I was trying to find it. Yeah, I'm doing your match request. I was hoping you were still here. I apologize. I know I went off track a little bit. But that's what happens when you're live. Limited though, no free roam backstage. Well, for WrestleMania it is. I know, like, going to different spots. I get what you're saying. And to be fair, we only have 3 backstage spots or 4 backstage spots in the current game. Remember back in the day, you could just go anywhere you want. So stupid. How is it that we're further in technology, but there's so much less content in the game compared to previous games? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I'm not trying to sound dumb here, but how do I pick up someone? Move superstars, strike attack, Irish whip, pick up opponent. How do you pick up opponent? Drag opponent, leapfrog. Cause I hit move superstar, strike, chain, pinfall, Irish whip, ground, grapple, ground opponent. I understand that. Lift, down opponent. Oh, up. That's such a weird. I'm so glad they went. I mean, I had no issue with the control stick, but they were getting complicated, and I think they knew that as well. The Undertaker part was crazy. So my favorite road to WrestleMania. So I'm gonna let you, I mean, can we? I guess we'll do a vote on which one we'll do. Actually, why not? Give me a second, guys. As we're doing this match, we'll just start a poll. You know, there's only a few of you guys in here. Which road to WrestleMania we're just gonna showcase? Christian, John Cena, Chris, Taker, and Ray. So hopefully that pulls up. I guess you guys can decide while I'm going through this match. Such a weird way to pick up someone. Running Bulldog. Yeah, I'm thinking of do the GTS. Just pick him up. The default champion of the game were John Cena. He was? See, now he was? Really? 2010. Am I misremembering 2010 here? John Cena was champion. So this game came out 2010, right? I'm not tripping. WrestleMania 26. Yeah, WrestleMania 26. John Cena lost his title at Fatal 4-Way, which means John Cena did not get his title back. When did John Cena get his title back? When did John Cena get his title back, now that I think about it? He lost his title. Randy Orton became champion, right? Good Lord, when did John Cena get his title back? He didn't. John Cena didn't get his title back once he lost that Fatal 4-Way. So that means this game was pretty much done at Fatal 4-Way, which would explain why. Was Rey Mysterio the default champion? No, which was, oh, okay. So now everything's making sense what you just said. That explains why Jack Swagger was the World Heavyweight Champion. Kofi, that's what I was about to say. Miz was, okay. Now everything's making a lot more sense here. You win King of Ring 08, you get cutscene. Now you don't. I know. We're going to showcase. Yeah, like I said, you have to understand, there's different developers back then. The people who developed the game were actually fans of wrestling. They don't care. Layla, okay. So at least that does confirm to me, that this game's pretty much stopped development. In terms of the roster was around July. June was Fatal 4-Way, because John Cena lost his title. The Sheamus at Fatal 4-Way. And then, yeah, okay, everything makes a lot more sense, because Rey Mysterio also became the champion at Fatal 4-Way. When did Miz and Big Show lose their titles? I forgot. When they lost to the Hart Dynasty, right? Because Miz was US champ. Okay, yeah. See, the math is mathing now. And the math is mathing. Okay. And one more GTS for good measure. Now, how do you drag an opponent? Like I said, these controls was so weird. Drag. Apparently, that's advanced controls. That is such a weird way to do it in this game. Before just clicking R3 and you called it a day. Whatever. So weird. What is Rey Mysterio doing out there? You did all that for nothing, Rey, coming out here. How do you feel? Doing all that effort for nothing. Mike. What's up, Mike? You were here a couple days ago, or yesterday, I believe. The days are just blending in at this point. When you do a marathon like this, the days start to blend in. I haven't realized I've been doing this for almost 2 weeks until I looked at the calendar. I was like, oh, Friday's back around. I've been at this for 2 weeks. That's how many games you got to go through. Okay, looking at the poll. You forget. We're going to go. Okay, we're going to go through takers. Okay. I was hoping. I mean, damn, y'all don't like Christian? And now see, oh, speaking of Taker, oh my God, you can't make this. I mean, this was the benefit of doing it outside yours. So speaking of Taker, you cannot make this up. I spoke too soon. This is universe mode, guy. This is what I'm talking about. The universe mode currently is a farce. This is what universe mode should be. Literally, I should not. Again, I have so much issues with the current universe mode. I'm going to talk about it when we get to it. But I have so many issues with the current universe mode. Cause I feel like the developers don't understand why this mode was made to begin with. So yeah, this was technically part of universe mode, but we're going to pretend like that did not happen. We're going to say it a little bit later. Let's go to Road to WrestleMania real quick. New. So the options were John C. Versus The Undertaker. You weren't playing as The Undertaker. Christian, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and Chris Jericho. I feel like it was mandatory. Need to come back. Excuse me. You're right. I know they technically did it with 2K26. You just have random cutscenes play out, which makes no sense. They add nothing to the universe mode. So basically, to sum up the story, since we're not going to get to all of them, versus The Undertaker is going against Undertaker WrestleMania. We'll get to that. Christian was basically him and Edge. Basically, Christian becoming essentially a main eventer and his storyline with just him with Edge doing some certain stuff. I forgot actually what John Cena was about. It's something to do with MVP, right? Him and MVP, or he hates something to do with Randy Orton. I actually forgot what John Cena was about. Rey Mysterio is him having deja vu, whether he's a good guy or bad guy. If you ever wanted a heel Rey Mysterio, this is essentially the only game. Besides the next game, I won't spoil it. And Chris Jericho has something to do with Triple H, if I remember correctly. I got it. Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to replay all of these eventually. I do not remember these stories. I only distinctly remember Ray because I recently did it because of the video, the long form video I did. But and The Undertaker because just obvious reasons. But I do not remember Christian's, John Cena's, or Chris Jericho's. So versus
anyone you put in front of me.
I'm breaking Undertaker's streak.
Oh, I didn't realize they voiced these.
Anyone you put in front of me.
Wow, Dogzigger, way to phone that one in.
I'm breaking Undertaker's streak.
So for the purpose of this, we're gonna pick my guy Dolph Ziggler. For the purpose of this. You know what? I just realized they're keeping B-Fab, but the Y6 go. Some people, again, it's the same. I hate the. I know it's gonna look bad for me saying this. It's the reason why some people you need for a reason. They play a role. For B-Fab, the same reason we're meeting Jade Cargill needs a group. All right, that's why she's there. I'm not saying. Here's the thing with the Y6, right? When they became tag team champions, I think everyone hated that because they felt like the tag team division. Unfortunately, when people, you see, you shouldn't ask for something that people don't want. I'm not saying you did, but it's like, I remember when the Ys became tag team champions, I had no issue. I thought it was great. Everyone was complaining, oh no, the SmackDown tag team division is dead. No, they were trying to give it at the tag team division actual story, because before that, you were just having, I mean, we had the great TLC match with, who was it, Motor City, DIY, and the Street Profits, but, there was no story. They were trying to get a tag division a story. It's some purpose. The Y6 added to that, but I guess people didn't care. The Raw is live from Montreal, Quebec. Why is that's weird? I don't hear any where's the voice? I'm not hearing any voices. Oh, that explains why. There we go. And that explains why. I was about to say, where the hell are the voices? Let's see. But yeah, this is essentially. Well, I gotta walk upstairs just to hear it. That's so stupid. Whatever. But there's Jericho. So again, you can walk around. You can walk around and hold on. Okay. You can walk around and do certain stuff. Like certain stuff you can interact with wrestlers and they will fight you GTA style. Yeah, again, this is when I said, like, back then, these games did not blend into each other. There was no reason to buy another game, the other one's out. You have to play each one of these games because it's a different experience. And I feel like that was part of the reason why Ukes left. We'll get to that when we go to 2K19, because I feel like their frustrations was that all these games felt the same. They weren't being innovative enough. It had nothing to do with, like, no competition. I know that's what they said, but reality was Visual Concepts and 2K to a certain extent. They're publishers after all. They weren't letting them be innovative. They need to bring this back, man. They need to bring back. I don't simple stuff like this.
No offense, but I hope I don't see you.
Oh, thanks for the thanks for being a sub, DS2. Although I don't think you're watching the live stream, but I do appreciate it. Much appreciated. I see that Ray Mysterio just came out of nowhere. I could push him, and that might start like an interaction between. See, now I could keep pushing him. Now we're gonna get into a backstage fight eventually. I think if you push him 3 times, yep. Then now we're just gonna automatically get into a fight. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, now I have a special backstage brawl. You know what disposable commodity is? I do. Who are you referring to? Were you referring to B-Fab? Maybe that was the words I was looking for, Jeffrey. I don't know if that's what you were referring to, but like stuff like this, the interaction between, like, we don't even have this in the current game where you can lift up Something like that. This comes out of nowhere. Now you have a new set of weapons. Simple stuff like that. Come on, people. Have you seen Dragon Ball? I'm obviously a huge fan of Dragon Ball. Actually, what Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, GT, Super, Daima. Yeah, be specific, man. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball. Vegeta is my favorite anime character of all time. Like simple stuff like this, I wish they would bring back. And then I wonder what the new now it's a different interaction now because the referee, where did he come from? Like I don't even remember that. That's actually so cool. I legit do not remember that. That is fascinating. Referee was just there. So what if I do a third time? Hold up. What happens if I do it a third time? That was actually amazing. Is there a third time? Let's see. I'm gonna be shocked if it. No, okay, now it's just this one. Okay, so 3 different times you get 3. Choke him out. I was trying to do the zigzag, or did he already give up? He gave up. Damn, Ray, you suck. We're just gonna play one match to get into the story of the Undertaker story. But I just really want to show you. This is the only game that has it. This backstage area. Read the message. Now I got 50 superstar points for upgrading. What's in here? I believe this is a spot where you can like redo certain events. No, I believe that's the other room. Yeah, Stephanie is in this game even though she's not playable, which is back when WWE game didn't have My Rise. Yes. I know. I've been talking about, I don't know if you've been on my other streams. I'm not
starting the Raw portion of this tournament to decide who will take on the Undertaker.
It's very weird that they have Stephanie here. She wasn't better backstage.
You put in front of me, including Undertaker.
That's quite a bit of confidence. You'll be thrown into the fire early as I have you going against Randy Orton in the first round tonight. But understand that whatever hardships I put you through on the road to WrestleMania pales in comparison to what the Undertaker is capable of.
I mean, they need to do is like what you can get everyone by My Rise and of where you can get everyone by My Rise and Showcase. Again, I feel like My Rise is not needed. Personally, I feel like their attention should be doing stuff like Road to WrestleMania and Showcase. Here's just personally my opinion. Again, you could disagree. I feel like My Rise is so counterproductive because Universe Mode is here. Unless there's really a reason for me to create a superstar to play out this linear story that you made, I feel like it's counterproductive. It's a waste of time. The amount of effort of the voice acting and story they can put into an original. I think this is my biggest issue with 2K. They can't think of an original story to put these superstars into the game. Somehow, Ukes and THU were able to pull that off with Road to WrestleMania, original stories with these characters. I don't need to create my superstar to play out some whatever story. That's what Universe Mode is for. That's just personally me. I don't think My Rise is needed. Because there's so many ways to like do. I don't care about the story that if I'm gonna create a superstar, unless you have it like Here Comes the Pain, which is what Universe Mode is, the season mode. I don't really care what story you're trying to tell. Now there are exceptions, like again, Road to WrestleMania they already did, but that's one time. There's only so many ways you can create a superstar into the WWE universe and have a specific story attached to it. Is what I'm trying to say. I just feel like that. Yes, the Divas. I love how the Divas have their own spot, and this is Eve. I think she made her debut in this game.
That tournament?
Yeah, she made her debut in this game.
I wouldn't get anywhere near Undertaker. I mean,
I'm actually shocked out of all the women that they brought back. Eve, in terms of, I mean, I'm not complaining. I was always a fan of Eve, but it's just the fact that she's in the current game, despite the fact she hasn't even physically been seen on WWE television since when? I don't even know. What's your favorite Dragon Ball Z game? Mine is, my favorite Dragon Ball Z game of all time is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. I know people say 3 is the best. I just love Tenkaichi's 2 story mode. And so this is what I mean. Like this match, this Eve, my baby. I always thought she was great. So this is what I meant. This board has Tommy at certain points in the story. You're gonna see Tommy Dreamer, Carlito, and the Great Khali on these boards because they were supposed to be in this game. Your favorite Tekken game? I never really played Tekken. I played a little bit of Street Fighter, but I never really played Tekken. I played Marvel vs. Capcom at my arcade back when I was like 4 or 5 when not arcade, at like this convenience store. They just had like this arcade machine. That was my experience with Marvel vs. Capcom. My 3 mains were always Spider-Man, Mega Man, and Wolverine. And I forgot the exact, so whatever roster that had Spider-Man, Mega Man, and Wolverine in it back in the arcade, like, let's just give you a time frame, 2001 to 2004. That was my experience with Marvel vs. Capcom. I never played a Tekken game. My next door neighbors had Tekken, but I never personally had it. Divas were better than Women's Revolution. So, I mean, that's a hot take. In-ring work, obviously, so the current women are better. I feel like the issue with here's the thing. I feel like the issue with the current women, there's only a few that people are like B-Fab, Michi, like a certain type of people aren't connecting because they're not character first, if you know what I'm saying. The women were basically had to be character because they weren't wrestling. So because it's almost, I know they're gonna hate this take. WWE is more superstar driven and character first than the actual in-ring work. I know that's going to be crazy to hear. But because of that, people like Eve, I'm not saying Eve's not a great wrestler, but I mean, that's debatable. The point is, I think people remember her character more than her actual in-ring work. But then you have people like AJ and Caitlyn, who people will remember them not only for their character, but their actual in-ring work. But then we had the issue, we issued in the era of the Women's Revolution with Paige and Emma, 4 Horsewomen, all that good stuff. So I just want to show you that board. We're going to go through the match and see the first cutscene. And then probably if we have we should have time. We're going to talk about universe mode and why I am frustrated with the current You're going to see why I'm frustrated with the current iteration of universe mode in the current games. I love the idea that Randy Orton's part of this. Just to face the Undertaker. It should be new people, because obviously he had a chance to get Undertaker before. Is this Dolph Ziggler's first game? Holy crap. I just realized, is this Dolph Ziggler's first game? Am I tripping? I mean, I like my ride, but I don't like how you have to do multiple times to get everything. It's so stupid. It wouldn't be an issue. So again, there's certain, as I always say, there's certain ways to go about stuff. I wouldn't have an issue especially with the current game. The issue with the current game that came out 2K26 that there's no reason to play it again unless you really care about those unlockable characters. Give me like a branching story path. Like 2K25, to this day I feel like had the best version of My Rise because it made you go back and play an alternate path. There's like 2 or 3 alternate paths that you have to replay just to physically see those cutscenes. That's why I have an issue. But now it's just either you're a good guy or bad guy. I don't care. WWE is more entertainment, unlike New Japan. I'm not gonna be one of those people that comment on other companies if I never watched it. I've only seen clips of New Japan. I don't really have time to watch New Japan, so I'm not gonna disagree or agree with you on that. But I would imagine it's more sport. I'm pretty sure in New Japan is more in-ring work, like AEW. No, was Dolph Ziggler? Am I tripping? Was Dolph Ziggler in 2010? Nah. What's up, Red? Thanks for stopping by. Hold up. Was Dolph Ziggler in 2010? Am I losing my mind? I did not see them there. I did not see him there yesterday. I'm not saying you're wrong. It must have been a huge oversight. Holy crap, he was in 2010. I never noticed that. Wow. Didn't even notice him. Even though I probably read them off on the roster list, that's the one thing we gotta do before we go into universe mode. Read off the roster list for this game. But we're going good. We're currently on SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. One of my favorite games in the series.
Ziggler from behind. He hits the Russian leg sweep. He's got him.
I just missed the live yesterday. Fell asleep for it because I was tired after working. I mean, I appreciate you just stopping by, man. I didn't think when I started this documentary event 2 weeks ago that anyone was going to show up nor care. But yet, here we are, people talking in chat. I appreciate this so much. That's all I can say. Because my channel's been kind of MIA for a couple months, partly because I've been working on the Here Comes the Pain documentary in the background. And we're working on first time doing a documentary. It takes a minute. We never done one before in your life. You gotta learn how to make one, what it means to make a documentary, all that good stuff. But I felt like during that time, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be going for like a year and my channel just stay dormant. So I made this event back in February. I was planning for this. So if I disappear for the next 3 months working on, at least there's some type of content that came out this year. You guys at least can look back and watch. I figured why not do something like this where you go, but I felt like to do a live stream. That's a great idea of a series, bro. Yeah, I just felt like for the live stream, I knew I wanted to go back and doing live stream. I haven't done one in over 2 years prior to 2 weeks ago. I wanted to have a purpose of it, just not play a game just for the sake of playing a game. So I made this idea. I was like, how about we just go through all the previous games to see how we got to 2K26. And now every day when people, whether you watch on demand or live, I truly did not think people were going to stop by and watch this, honest to God. So I am really appreciative of you guys. I won't be too crazy. Have you played Mortal Kombat? Yes, I have. I played Mortal Kombat, the PS. So my favorite game, even though it's not really Mortal Kombat was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks on the PS2. But besides that, I played the one on Xbox. I forgot which one that was. The original Xbox. So I played that one. Whichever one came out on the original Xbox. I don't know how. I played that one for sure, and I played Shaolin Monks on both the Xbox and PS2. I haven't played the recent ones, but I did play Mortal Kombat versus DC when that came out years ago. I thought that was a fun game. Well, speaking of that, what are your thoughts on the Street Fighter movie? Because I know, you know, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes is a part of it.
This young man can do a lot of amazing things in the ring. Orton's reeling right there.
God, I remember my rivalry with Dolph Ziggler on WWE 12. Oh my God, I'm having so many good memories. That's why I said you can't in universe mode. Like it was like such an organic rivalry. Me and him for the U.S. title. The ones I missed first, I really enjoyed the chill format while also getting coin phone. Okay, yeah, just again, I felt like. Oh yes, the famous sir. Again, that's why I was hesitant on doing live stream because like I don't want to. It's not that everyone like just play the game, whatever. I wanted it to be a purpose. I feel like it was missing a purpose to play these games. Like I don't want to just play for sake of play. Damn, Randy, you tap out like that? It would be a good movie. It's looking fine from what I can tell. I just wanted to have a purpose of playing these games without.
But he faces a tall task next week to see who will represent Raw. That's right.
It's so good. You will never get bored. Again, I remember the story. You cannot tell me any wrestling game that makes me remember the stories that I made through my universe mode that were made through universe mode than WWE 12. I can't remember anything else, but WWE 12, I remember those stories clear as day. I remember with my Creative Superstar, I was in the Elimination Chamber. The two best rivalries was me and Dolph Ziggler for US title and me versus Triple H for the WWE title. I will always remember those memories of this game. It's like, oh my God. So good. So good. Thanks for the memories. I just want to show you the next. I'm just waiting for the Undertaker to show up, and then we'll go to the universe mode. There's the Miz. I believe I can talk to him.
You won and I lost last week? Must have been a full moon or something.
Something around here is full of.
You don't have to worry about me, all right?
I like the idea that Dolph Ziggler is a face, even though he was never portrayed as a face in this point in time. But I'm assuming the people who are fighting in the road to WrestleMania for Undertaker, he was considered a face. I just love the idea of that. Like SBR has some of the best looking wrestler models. No, people, you'll be surprised. People hate like these plastic looking models. Obviously, they went a completely different direction with 12. I thought these were the best looking superstars at the time. Oh, here's Mickie James.
I don't understand why you're trying to fight Undertaker at WrestleMania.
God, she looks
Do you have some sort of
weird.
death wish?
She looks very weird. She looks nothing like the previous game. Did they face scan her at all? I don't think they face scanned her. Didn't she leave around this time the game came out? I think she left. That's why. Good Lord. She looks nothing like the one she did in 10. John Cena's interview. I love how that opens the show. You see, there is Kali. That's what I wanted to show you. Boom. See that? Kali's right there. Show Kane and Kali. Okay, I'm going to head out now. Bye. Appreciate you, Nate, stopping by. Like I said, tomorrow we're going through WWE 12. The best incarnation. It's so crazy. WWE 12 has the best incarnation of Road to WrestleMania and the best incarnation of Universe Mode. It peaked. Both the Universe Mode peaked in 12. It started with 11, but it peaked in 12. It's crazy how it peaked in the first It peaked in the second game. So crazy. I'm just waiting for the Undertaker to show up and we're gonna switch gears. Last game she appeared until she. So I believe so. They did not face scan her. Good lord, she looks. I'm not saying she looks horrible. She kind of does. But did you ever mention 100% wrestling game? I think the closest I got was 2010 in WWE. I thought it was all three stories were great. They were excellent. It's funny because leading up to, I love the idea of Triple H fighting for a spot at Undertaker, even though literally a year later he fights him at WrestleMania. They did not think this went through. I mean, it's just the foresight of it is funny to me. I mean, in hindsight, it's actually crazy. It's part of a tournament. You know, he would never be part of a tournament like this. All the titles were back then because they cared. You have to understand, they cared. They cared about putting out a good game. And you know, another side note, the other thing back then, patches weren't really a thing up until now. Next year they slowly started it in the next game, 12. Back then there was no such thing as patches, even though there was, for these games at least, they didn't start it until 12, where, because whatever you had to put out, like whatever you put out in the game, that's the entirety of the game. Whether if there's bugs, you're screwed. So they actually, you know, I know it's gonna sound crazy, effort. They made sure the game was as perfect as they could possibly make it in the time frame that they had. They didn't half-ass it where you're like, oh, okay, we're just gonna patch it later. My God, too. So I love that storyline. It's funny, you know, people hated when it was first revealed that the two storylines were Triple H and Sheamus. I think they hated that Sheamus was part of it because people hated Sheamus back then because they thought he was over pushed. Go figure. Yeah, they hated that it was Sheamus Triple H. They thought it was so weird, but they didn't understand, like, they were all tied together. They thought like just three separate stories that didn't make any sense. I don't think they realized to the game that was. I appreciated that they kind of hid that part. They never hinted that it was just one full-fledged story. I think they kind of did though, but they really didn't specify that much online. It's like they were all connected. It was so good. I might have to play Road to WrestleMania as an event itself on stream one day, just so you guys can like really witness it in full time. Like, yes, this was the epic story. But that's probably way down. Like, that's something I'll live stream as more like an event itself. I don't know if you'd be interested. Like, would you guys be interested in something like that? Even, I mean, not now, obviously, but like me just playing Road to WrestleMania so we can like look at it from beginning to end to see how that story played out. Might be like a 3-part stream. I'm not gonna rush them. We were gonna like really take it in. The stories of Sheamus, Triple H, and the Creator Wrestler. How do you turn someone? So the issue, like I said, this is the issue I have with this. I'm so glad he switched to the next game. Again, it started to become complicated. How do you switch someone, change orientation of the groggy opponent? Oh, his R. But what if he's cornered? So it's change target. Jacob Cass, who was Austin Aries, by the way. Ground opponent. So lift down opponent. Okay, so I had to hit R. Okay, I got it. So he has to be. Oh, this is so stupid. Okay, and then boom. Then I can hit the zigzag. I'm Irish. I always had a soft spot for Sheamus. I never had it. I always thought like Sheamus when he got shipped. I mean, when he got shipped to SmackDown, I think I'm not gonna lie. I was like 50-50 on him when he was on Raw. But when he got shipped to SmackDown, putting on, you know, classics with Dan Bryan and whatnot, I thought he was. I was like, all right, Sheamus won me over when he's putting on like these matches. It's funny. I didn't like him as a heel. I mean, it is what it is. But like when he became a face. And that's when people started to really hate him because they thought he was getting forced down. And when he was running cheap, I liked this run because he was putting on a great match. I was like, all right, I like this guy. I actually like this guy. He's actually not that bad. Where's the Undertaker? I'm doing all this. Okay, we might have to. I want to get we don't have time. We gotta get the universe mode. We're doing all this. I just want to show Undertaker at least once to see how the story is going to progress. But whatever. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to save first off. So yeah, I did play Rey Mysterio at one point. We are going to save. We're going to quit out of it. How do I quit out of here? How do I exit? There we go. Before we get to universe mode and reminisce about the good old days, give me 1 second. We're going to look at the roster of this game. Full roster minus Bret Hart because I don't have him. So, 1 second. Alrighty. So, the roster of this game. It was actually a stacked roster, I'm not going to lie. He legitimately main eventer heel. I thought you had a different look with a cool old school brawl set in Cesaro. Oh, yeah. The Bar was, honest to God, the best tag team of that era from like 2016 to 18. Honest to God, the Bar. I don't think it's so funny that you mentioned it because I know people hate it. That 7. You see, WWE gets you. They always get Vince McMahon. Despite you gotta give Vince credit, he knows what he's doing. People hate that 7 series because they fought like 5 times before that. It's like now you're gonna fight additional 7 times. I remember everyone hated it. It's like, oh my god, you guys watch Shayna versus Cesaro fight best of 7 series, and then that final match when it went to a draw, people were mad because it was like, oh my god, and like that's how you get invested. That's how you get invested. Vince McMahon knew what you gotta. Sometimes I know people crap on Vince, but you gotta give him credit there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Once he went to where everyone was pissed, it's like it went to a draw, and like they weren't pissed like it went to a draw. They're like pissed like, oh come on, where's the ending to the story? And then the very next week they became a team, and it was questionable at first, but it one of the best teams of that era. Like, gotta just look at stuff long term. It worked out so well. So for Raw, you had Alicia Fox. I believe this is her first game. Right? I'm not tripping. Batista's last game as an active member of the roster. Brie Bella, Chris Jericho. He disappears for a year and he comes back in 13. This was the era when Chris Jericho kept coming back and going because, you know, this is where he was really touring with Fozzy a lot and doing just other projects outside of wrestling. So he's going to disappear, reappear a couple times. David Hart Smith, David Otunga, debut of David Hart Smith, David Otunga as DLC, Edge, Evan Bourne, Eve makes her debut, Ezekiel Jackson, Gail Kim, I believe this is her last appearance in the game ever. Goldust, I do believe he appears in 12. John Cena with his updated purple attire as well. John Morrison, Justin Gabriel as DLC. Mark Henry, Maurice. Was she in 2010? I do not remember. She had to be. I think she was. Melina, Natalia, Nikki Bella, Primo, R-Truth, Randy Orton, Santino, Sheamus makes his debut, Ted DiBiase, The Miz, Triple H, Tyson Kidd, Vladimir Kozlov, and last appearance of David Hart Smith. The first and last, I know. Vladimir Kozlov, Wade Barrett, William Regal, Yoshitatsu, Zack Ryder with his updated gimmick. Because he was in 2009, he took him out in 10, but now with his updated gimmick in 11, and debut of Yoshitatsu. I didn't really like how many lock character in 2011 DLC roster stack felt small at first. Well, that because you had to lock them through universe mode. I don't have an issue with that because it made you it incentivized you to play the mode. And there was a brand new mode, so I gave them that much credit. But I get what you mean. They should have had most of these guys unlocked. For SmackDown, Beth Phoenix, Big Show, Chavo, Chris Masters, Christian, Punk. Last time of long hair Punk, by the way. Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre to debut. Drew McIntyre. Last game of Finley, I believe, and Hornswoggle. Jack Swagger, JTG. Is this JTG's last game, by the way? Is it? I feel like this is his last game. Was he in 12? I don't remember him being in 12. Even though JTG was part of the roster for years afterwards. I think this is his last game. Kane. Yep, it is. Kelly, Kofi, Layla. She kept being DLC. This was like just a running. It had to be a bit. They knew exactly what they were doing. They kept making her DLC. It had to be a bit. Like the next 2 games, she was DLC. Luke Gallows. You know, he was Festus in 09. Was it Festus in 2010? I don't remember. No, he wasn't. They kept Jesse, though. Matt Hardy. Michelle McCool. Last appearance of Matt Hardy, by the way, until 2K18. on the independents though. Kozlov was in 12. Okay, Mickey James last appearance until until 2K18, I believe, because she wasn't in 17. I don't remember her being in 17. Mike Knox last appearance. MVP last appearance. No, MVP. Yeah, this is MVP's last appearance. Rey Mysterio last appearance in Chad. Shelton Benjamin last appearance until 2K18. 2K18. He wasn't in 17 because he missed it. He came back a little too late. Undertaker and first and last appearance of Vance Archer. The gold standard. Shelton Benjamin, my favorite look of his. It was a good, again, his rivalry with Christian was my favorite rivalries as him as a single star in that era. Again, I was an ECW stan, all right? I have no problem admitting that. So yeah, that was the oh no, I'm not done yet. The Legends. We can't forget about the Legends. We had Bret Hart, I could never access because they screwed me. British Bulldog, Jake Roberts, Jimmy Snuka, which I believe is the last time he will be in the game. I don't recall him being in any other game after this. Lex Luger, Mr. McMahon, Paul Bearer as a manager, Ricky Steamboat, which I think is the first time he appeared as a legend in one of these games. I don't recall him first time. Sean Benjamin returned in 2. Oh, damn, he returned in 19, so he didn't come back in 18. That's crazy. That's legit crazy. Sean's first game back was 19. That is crazy. Huh. That's strange to me. I love the gold attire bleach. I thought it was good. Have you played Legend WrestleMania game? I have it right here, actually. Where is it? I actually have it right here. Hopefully my game case don't fall out. I played. This is actually my first. I actually have it right here. Right here. On my desk right there. Now, first of all, thanks for stopping by, Space Ghost. Yes, I mean, Shag, at least he died a hero, Shad. For those who don't know, he saved his son during like this storm when like he saved it. It was sad, but yeah. RVD, Shawn Michaels, Terry Funk's last game in like for forever until 2K24. The Rock and The Undertaker as the American Badass. We already did the DLC talk, and then extra people, the Druid. Let's fire. I like the idea. My issue is Legends of WrestleMania made 2009 that much worse because they purposely took. I know the reason why, but for them to take out the Legends for the main game was just so stupid in my opinion. But that's just me. Now we go to the main event of the stream. Universe mode. All right. So obviously, if you know about Universe mode, but it starts here. Unfortunately, yes, you could not. The first iteration, you could not change the show. You were Raw, Superstar, SmackDown. The next thing you could change the show, but you couldn't change the day. But you could change any of the shows you wanted and the pay-per-views. So full calendar. I know you can't see because my face is in the way. The pay-per-views are right there at the end of the month. How can you forget about the Drew? It's such a iconic part of the game. January, February, March, April. Get the idea. Now, there's two things that this game does right that the current game still don't do it. First is the ranking system. It boggles my mind why a game from a decade ago can understand the ranking system of these titles and not the current game. So for those who are unaware, the current games, you're forced to superstar. One superstar is forced per ranking. Like you can't put them in multiple rankings. Obviously, you could just bypass that at any time. Yeah, this was Drew McIntyre's first game. You're actually right, Space Ghost. You can bypass them by just ignoring it completely. But if you want the full authentic experience, they're stuck in a ranking system. In these games, here's how they did it. So you have Edge, right? And the number one contender, Chris Jericho. And then you go to the list right there. That's it. The top 10, right? R-Truth. You see The Miz right there. You also saw The Miz 4th rank because they understood if you are in contention for the WWE title, you can also be in contention for the United States title. But people who are in contention for the United States title is probably not going to be in contention for the WWE title. They understood the system. It's a gradual progressing system, like simple stuff like this. They see how John Morrison, like people like Chris Jericho, Randy Orton is here, but then you have people like William Regal here. It just makes sense. So I know it seems like nuanced what I'm explaining, but they understood the system. You can be in both divisions. And even if you had a tag team, same thing. You see how Jericho Miz is a tag team? There's no tag team. I made a video about that. It can also be in singles. Like, you can be in contention for the title, even if you're part. It just makes sense. That's one thing. The biggest thing with this mode that to this day the game does not get right is how storylines and rivalries play out. This in WWE 12 and 13 understood the concept of how to do this universe mode. What do I mean? You have no idea what's going to happen. Because in the current games, obviously, they got it to the point where RVD being in this game still wild to me because he's in TNA. Yeah, that's what I said. I really don't know how that worked out because RVD was been gone from the company at this point, so I don't know how that worked out really, to be honest with you. I believe I said because it was just one of those things that it was right time, right moment before you actually signed with TNA. But back to the storyline thing. In the current games, you can essentially pick the cutscenes, how it's going to play out either before, during, or after the match. The rivalry manager, which I still think killed the whole point of this mode, and whatnot. That's all in the current games. How the current games are structured, they're linear, which means once you go through 5 of the 6 rivalry manager stuff, you've pretty much seen every single cutscene because they're always going to go out the same way. It's always formatted the same way. The ending's always the same way. This game, there is no rivalry manager. They just remember everything. WWE 12 also remembered everything. If you fought someone and you injured them, and when they come back, they're coming after you. They have number 1 contender matches. I know, you see, it's crazy. So Miz and Sheamus, and guess what? It makes sense because if you look at the ranking, for US title, Miz is number 1 contender, and Sheamus is. So Sheamus beat me, he becomes new number 1 contender. Stuff like this just makes sense. I know it's crazy how they not have number 1 contender matches in the current games, but because they're pointless because of those stupid system. They just remember stuff, right? And storylines just play out. Even though it's only 4 matches back in the day, it made it worth it. When storylines play out, they remember it and it makes sense. So R-Truth and Everborn, if they go into a fight, they're going to remember it the next time around. So, but for the sake of this, I was going to use CM Punk as the example because I screwed everything up by putting him on Raw. I'm going to simulate the entire year and we're going to start off fresh on SmackDown. The draft was not entered into this system until 12, although there was a storyline cutscene where you just get traded to the next show. Just show off the WrestleMania card. Yes, Money in the Bank was here. Oh, I love how Chris Jericho and the Miz are still champions. Funny how that works out. The promotional match, the world title. Let's see if I'm going as CM Punk. Oh, Undertaker took. Oh, he was still champion, I guess. Oh, I love how Undertaker, he's doing double duty. So right into the streak, and John Cena versus The Miz. John Cena wins. LOL. But to actually showcase, we're gonna use CM Punk. Hopefully. Let's advance. For Raw, we're going to use CM Punk. And for SmackDown, we're going to use CM Punk. For Raw, we're going to use, I don't know, John Cena, Chris Jericho. Let's see. For the sake of this, we're going to use Chris Jericho, right? Let's just see. There's a good chance nothing might happen, but then there's a good chance something might happen. But that's the point. Mission match. All that good stuff. And you know there's a cutscene happening because it'll say universe mode and whatnot. Again, sometimes stuff happens, sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on who's interacting with who. And something could randomly happen during the middle of this match. I could have swore I cut off. Okay, I'm going to have to cut off the commentary. That's going to get real annoying real quick.
King, what kind of strategy is there in a submission match?
Well, you have to target a body part, no question. After that, you keep attacking that spot until you can slap a hold on it.
And you know there's a rivalry happening thanks to the news thing. I know the news things are still in the current games, but it makes a tad bit more sense in these games, which hopefully I can demonstrate if something happens, whether I beat him. You saw with CM Punk, he was obviously in a rivalry with the Undertaker because he just chokeslammed him out of nowhere. Because he was one of his enemies, so they were going to enter into a rivalry, whether for the title or not. I let it play out. 2K19 to go. I like 2K19 because I think is the perfect simulated experience. I'm not, again, Universe mode is still better in these games. What's your favorite SVR game? 2011. We're playing it right now. In terms of overall gameplay experience, 2011. 2007 in the original mainly for well, 2007 because obviously it's the best GM mode experience to this day. None tops that version of it. And the original SmackDown solely because of the soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie. I love listening to the soundtrack while fighting in the match. That was just so cool to me. Because obviously back then there was no single content ID and no one cared about that. But obviously licensing issues, that is just not a thing anymore. Come on, submit. Submit.
What diabolical things are going through that?
Can I get out the ring? I'm about to say, cause yeah, so they finally update where you can actually get out the ring in submission matches. There should be no disqualification because submission matches shouldn't have no disqualifications. Right? How they're DQ and submit? I can't.
Could be what we're seeing here.
We took THQ for granted. Fortunately, THQ is not like that's the funny part. THQ didn't lose the license because they were bad at making games. They lost the license because they got bankrupt. That's just the reality of the situation. Like people think like 2K, like they saved the series in the sense like is either them or EA basically. But it's like it's not like THQ are doing bad by any means. It's just, and I love how I can ignore him.
In the rope, but he refuses to release.
It's just they lost the license because, well, they just lost it. Oh my God, can we stop the rope break?
Right here.
Try it again.
Moving on pure instinct now. What will it take to finish this superstar?
Now let's drag him away from the ropes. And now, hopefully.
Oh, submission. The hold's locked in.
Tap. Come on, Regal. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I like the idea that both of these are people are in this match for a submission match. Again, it's like the game knows how to program this stuff. Since they're both submission artists. It just dawned on me. I'm still sad that we never got All-Stars 2. I know there was some footage that came out supposed to be like, I mean, some leaked stuff that came out recently that will be an All-Star 2. Again, like I said, THQ is not, I think people have misrememberies of like THQ being bad or whatever. They were never a bad company. Everyone loved their games. It's just they got bankrupt. It's just unfortunately that's what it was. I don't think anyone for Jeff Hardy DLC, and I think, oh, trust me, had people not backlash about the ringside pass or whatever it's called, he would have, don't trust me, he would have been tier 20. Best you believe they would have made him tier 20. They would have made Matt tier 1 just to make y'all pissed that Jeff Hardy's not tier 1. That, you know exactly what they were gonna do. Then they got, oh yeah, that's what I said. Unfortunately, THQ got bankrupt. I know there's like THQ Nordic now and whatever, but it's not the same. It's not the same THQ. You ever played the Raw games? I played the original Raw demo on PC, which is crazy to think about that. My mom's PC back in the day was able to handle the Raw demo with The Rock and Kane. My next door neighbors had, unfortunately there was no cutscene. My next door neighbors had Raw 2 and WrestleMania 21. I don't understand how they went bankrupt. I'm gonna tell you that story when we get to WWE 13. So if you want to know the actual reason why they got bankrupt, I know people just talk about them being bankrupt. They don't really talk about, at least in terms of the wrestling context of why they got bankrupt. It has nothing to do with WWE. That's the short answer. They were doing stuff in other games that unfortunately affected the whole company and in essence killed off the series for WWE before THQ took it. I mean, before 2K took it. So next time I'm going to probably play as Shawn Michaels and Batista to play out the rivalry on this show. But we're going to go over to CM Punk to see what happens. So if you want to, I already have that in place. I remember I believe I talk about it in I love the idea of Mark Henry and Triple H being a team that's or being an alliance. That's absolutely hilarious. Which had the best? Oh, we're gonna look at it tomorrow. We're gonna look at the best iteration of Universe mode with WWE 12. 11 was fine. 12 was fine. I mean, 12 was the greatest. 13 would have been fine as well if it wasn't for the stupid bug. The stupid bug ruined the entire immersion experience. If you can ignore it, it's fine. Where's CM Punk? No CM Punk. Okay, we're gonna simulate all these, so now I know who to play as next. Let's see, but there's actually nothing happening over there. Now I know to either play as Shawn Michaels, or they show up next time, so you can see the rivalry, whatnot. Okay, so John Cena, Shawn Michaels, and Batista. Something I can assure you, I'm like 90% sure something's gonna happen in this main event. And for the sake of it, I'm going to play as Shawn Michaels because now there's a rivalry. Yeah, I know. Look at this triple threat rivalry. So, I mean, stuff that involved triple threat stuff. Who would have thought? I know there's probably some cutscenes that are still similar to this, but you could have a rivalry without having to be a rivalry manager. Like, my whole issue with the current games is that I shouldn't know what's happening. The whole point of the universe mode is you're supposed to be part of the universe. I forgot to cut off the audio. You're supposed to be part of the universe. I should not know what's happening. Let the AI, the CPU, see how it's booked right here? And now it's automatic. It's a Fall Count Anywhere match. Random stuff like this. I shouldn't have to book that myself in universe mode. I don't want that creative freedom. I'm not trying to be lazy. It's just, if you're going to make me have that creative freedom, I'd rather have it in, story designer. That makes a lot more sense. Or GM mode. Well, we'll get to GM mode in 2K22 when we get there. But stuff like that. I should not know what's happening in universe mode. I just wanted to play out. The only thing I should know what's happening is what the new stuff is for. That's the only thing I should know about. How is it that 11 and 12 understood this, and 13, but the current games do not? I should have no idea what's happening. It should let it play out exactly as it is.
Michaels. Atomic drop. Caught.
Oh, to quickly go over, which they go back to having locked superstar in universe. Yeah, so it's like WWE and 2011 did it too. Like, I know Brock Lesnar's the most famous one. Again, I have a theory. Since we're at universe mode now, here's why I think the reason universe mode is treated like this. It's simply because 2K and Visual Concepts, they did not make the mode. It was a legacy mode that was carried over from THQ and Ukes. They do not care about something that they did not make. You see how much effort they put into My Faction, The Island, 2K Showcase to an extent. In My Rise, you look at that much effort compared to the effort they put in universe mode. GM mode is like 50-50. Like, it's their iteration of it, so they're trying with that. But look at how they do universe mode. They don't care. They know they have to have it in the game because I think universe mode is the only thing stopping the actual fans from completely losing their mind and completely doing a 180 on 2K if they haven't already. And they know that. They know it. I'll be one of those people, by the way. I'll be one of those people. I think they know that too. They know that for a fact, which is why they just keep it in there, but they do the bare minimum to keep you pleased. And we're gonna go through the bare minimums once we get to 2K22 to 2K25. What I mean by that. But yeah, one more thing I forgot to show you because we're gonna be wrapping things up here soon. But there's one more thing I forgot to show you, which is gonna be relevant in the next 2 streams. But it's like we're foreshadowing the events that are happening. Where is it? Hold on, guys. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. Bear with me. 1 second. Got it. So to answer your question, I know someone mentioned the THQ thing. Well, bear with me. This was the financial report for April 2011. Remember, this game came out like October 2010, so it's just the stuff here. For 2 years in a row, THQ has actually been losing money. They have not made a profit. I mean, they've been down in profit. They used to be making $1 billion a year. That's how well to the impact of these games that they had, the licenses of like SmackDown versus Raw and UFC, they were making billions of dollars in their financial reports. But now they're down 2 years in a row. The significant, the thing I want to point out is, again, this is 2 years in a row they've been down, and it's going to be a lot more in the next coming years. But I just want to point out again, both UFC and WWE, they sold over 3 million units for the game. So it's like, I must stress, it's not like these games were doing bad. They were 100, they were actually are the reason why they were making profit. Any type of profit was because of UFC and WWE. You see this little thing over here says the You Draw Game tablet. This is going to be very relevant in the next 2 streams. This is what we call foreshadowing. This is, if you're wondering how the THQ decline happened, I want you to remember the You Draw Game tablet. That's going to be part of the story in the next 2 streams, but just wanted to point that out. But it's like stuff like Homefront. And remember, they had Metro too. Like, the games were selling. Like, their licensed stuff was selling. It's just, this is going to be very relevant in the next 2 days. So just wanted to point that out. 1 second. Now back to our regularly scheduled program with this.
Shawn Michaels is putting on a show, hence the reason he's known as the show.
Is he putting on a show, Michael? This is why I cut all the commentary stuff. They say stuff at the wrong time. I gotta cut off that commentary.
There are no countouts. These competitors can stay out here as long as they like.
Yeah, like simple stuff like that though, where this match just suddenly became false count anywhere. That's not in the current games, by the way. Simple stuff like that, because they don't care. They just don't care. They don't care about this mode because they didn't make it. It's very simple. They keep it in there because they know this is the only thing before fans completely turn their backs on them. Rightfully so. But they just, so they do the bare minimum, just keep it alive. They don't actually care about this mode. They had it their way, they was scrapping entirely. At least there's some sane person in that group that's like, you know, guys, if we ever scrap this mode, I think that'll be it for that'll be our last goodwill that we had left of the fan base if we scrap Universal mode. So that's why they keep it in there, just for us.
And there's the double team. Oh, look at this.
Essentially, this is the game that holds over the replay value for the rest of the year. Once you complete 2K Showcase, My Rise. I mean, I don't think really anyone's touching the regular wrestling fan is not touching My Faction or the Island. So they know Universe mode is anything that's left. And GM mode is like, I mean, either you like their current iteration of it or you still like 2007 and 8 and 6.
As much as John Cena likes to have fun, when he steps in that ring, it's all business.
He's going back outside.
This commentary is so annoying. Now I know why I cut it off.
Wow! If he keeps this up, this could be over.
And I miss the way that they hold the chair. Do they even hold the chair like that anymore? Like that one arm? Holding it on one arm? I don't recall. Do they hold it like that in the current games? I do not actually recall.
Continental and tag team champion. His accolades are unparalleled. He drops the elbow.
Oh, he's got that leg all locked up.
Oh, they're gonna let me.
Mama.
I said they're gonna let me tap him out. Cena. What is Shawn? I'm assuming the elbow drop is his signature. Can I actually hit it? Probably not. They're not gonna. I'm gonna wait. Of course he's not. What the hell was that? This game is crazy. I mean, the bugs that they, again, this game, I mean, I guess that's clearly a bug, but it's not game breaking. What the hell was that? I love how they saved it as a highlight clip, by the way. That is funny. Oh, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. Cena squeezing down on the head.
They hit the double team.
And again, the showstopper heading to the top.
Again, I think developers knew, like, when it came to multi-man match, they really had to fix that. So I'm so glad that they did it in the next game. You just have to stand there looking like an idiot while the opponent does the move. They finally realized it was time to update it.
Oh, the punch connects. And there he goes again.
No, I didn't want to throw him out because now, god damn it. If I go out there, come on, Batista, hurry up and get in here. Like, hit my finisher on you. Hurry up. Whatever. Whatever. John Cena, get in here. Screw it. These people.
No one else brings what Shawn Michaels brings. HBK, the most decorated superstar in WWE history.
Ow, what an elbow.
And a jaw-jacking punch.
This. I guess. I totally forgot that you had to hit A. That's actually new to me. I was like, why am I hitting A? Why couldn't I just reverse it? Oh, come on. I gotta.
This arena is absolutely electric.
You know what?
Get ready to see more damage done with that chair.
No, I wanted to hit. God damn it! I wanted to hit Cena, not you.
That'll do some damage.
I can't use the chair anymore. Oh, it's broken. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I want to hit you, Batista. Then you, Cena. Come on.
Michaels from behind.
Cena's in trouble.
Shawn Michaels tuning up the band.
There we go.
Music. Watch out here. And that was a big shot that just
Hurry up, pin Batista. God damn it. Oh, hurry up. 1, 2. Yes. I gotta cut off this audio for next time. But again, that's why I want to show you with universe mode. I had no idea it was gonna be a false count anywhere match. But I guess I could have pinned him outside in hindsight. Wow, I'm not that smart, am I? I could have pinned him outside in hindsight. First of all, I got cut off this audio. They are so annoying. I knew I had it off for a reason. Not the credits. Although it is poetic playing those credits because this is the end of an era. Sound. I hate that it's tied to the. Oh my god, it's so stupid. They tied the voice to the. So stupid. I can't. Again, I mean, they're not at fault. At least in the newer games, they separate the commentary and the actual voice dialogue, but that's just so dumb. Just quickly see what's happening on SmackDown. Get Drew McIntyre. Oh, there's CM Punk. I was wondering, why is John Cena over there? This game was pretty awesome. I was always a fan. Again, this in 12's universe mode, I like because I should not know what's happening in universe mode. That's the whole point. It should just happen. I shouldn't have to predetermine stuff. It takes the immersion out of it for its time. No, it still definitely holds up. For example, where's our #1 contenders matches in the current games? I don't know. It makes no sense. Simple stuff like that. And they book them appropriately. Like, boom, 2 #1 contender matches right here. Certain like stupid stuff like that just annoys me that they don't have in the current games. But before we adjourn, there's just some stuff I want to go over. Like how 2K is now conning people out of money. I mean, you could just, again, there's a way to make sure they don't do it and just ignore them. Just straight up ignore them. That's what I do. I don't touch my faction. Unless I do some RXP and I could care less about the island. Just if you ignore it, they can't. And we're going to get to those games when we get to them. But just a few things I didn't have a chance to talk about. Some cool things about 2011. I really wanted to showcase everything about this game because this is the end of an era. As I said, this is the last game in the SmackDown vs. Raw series. And maybe they knew that. Maybe they knew that. Maybe they didn't. I'm going to show you what I mean when we talk about 12 tomorrow. But they were special. This is the first time that they had separate covers depending on where you lived. So America, you got the original one, which was John Cena, Big Show, and The Miz. Canada also got it, but they also had 2 limited editions. One for Bret Hart with Undertaker and Edge. And then they had one for the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. We never got over here, which sucks. And I think it was like in a specific store, like at Walmart or something in Canada. The European version had Randy Orton, Undertaker, and Sheamus. The physics in this game was the best version. They kind of dialed it back after this one, and then they completely took it out in 2K18, which it is what it is. And then the Mexican version which was Rey Mysterio, Undertaker, and Triple H. My perfect version of this game, cover-wise, would have been John Cena in the middle, Undertaker on the left, and Triple H on the right. That would have been the perfect version. I have no issue with the Big Show and the Miz. I know why they're here, because they were significant people during the development of this game. But it's like, for all these alternate covers, I feel like the perfect one would have been John Cena in the middle, Undertaker on the left, and Triple H on the right. People who defined this era in the SmackDown vs. Raw game. But again, I think at this moment they didn't know this was going to be the last one until after the fact. I know that they knew Here Comes the Pain was even the last one they made it before they went to SmackDown vs. Raw, because just they knew the Raw brand was dead on Xbox, so they decided to use it for the SmackDown series. And also, as I said, only time the Big Show has a cover star. You're absolutely right. So at least he ended on a high note. At least Big Show ended on a high note. Same thing with The Miz. I think The Miz was not a cover star and forever. At least those two had the opportunity to be on a cover star, which is also why I put him as a thumbnail. The Miz earned it. The Miz 2010 to 11 was Miz's year. Like, we had to give him credit. Again, these games came on the Xbox 360, the PS3, the Wii, the PS2, and PSP. Obviously, the superior versions were the Xbox 360 and the PS3. And then the Wii version was fine. There was a scrap Road WrestleMania of the Miz. I did hear about that. Why did they never do it? I don't know. Also, there was a scrap version of Jeff Hardy. I think the guy who was part of development, he broke it down. I know there was a scrap Jeff Hardy Road to WrestleMania. I think that was supposed to be for 10. Was it supposed to be 11 for the Miz? Which will make a lot more sense since he's on the cover star as well. I didn't expect Big Show was going to be a part of it. I know Big Show is part of Chris Jericho's Road to WrestleMania, but for the Miz, I think because they scrapped him, they gave him much more of a significant role in 12, which we will get to, by the way. But yeah. And obviously this game is historic because this is the final game in the main series to be part of the PS2 and the PSP. More so the PS2, because it's like, I don't think the WWE game series would be where it was if for the PS2. Like, the PS2, obviously, besides the fact being one of the best systems of all time in general, it's like, I think this is what made the series, because obviously started out on PS1, which is funny now that I think about it, because from the jump from the PS1 to PS2, they completely abandoned the PS2 when Just Bring came out. It's a screw it, everything is moving to the PS2. But from the jump to the PS2 to the next generation with Xbox 360 and PS3, they made sure to keep it on the PlayStation 2 for as long as possible. Because it was still the best selling system at the time. It was still outselling the Xbox 360 and PS3 in terms of whatever sales. 2007, you guys, I showed you in the other stream, it actually still sold more than on Xbox 360. The PS2 version still was a superior system. Even though the Xbox 360 was graphic-wise was the superior version of the game, the PS2 still outsold the Xbox 360 version. So it's just crazy. But just like, yeah, end of an era. After this, it's all current gen systems with the WWE gaming series, and only a few more games left for the Wii. But yeah, that was the story of SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. Overall, I think it's one of the best games out there. I don't think they knew at the time this was going to be the final game, but at least it ended on a high note. Like Here Comes the Pain. Is it? I mean, if you want to compare Here Comes the Pain to 2011, obviously Here Comes the Pain is superior for many reasons, but 11 is different enough. Obviously, the Star Universe mode, the way you go through Road to WrestleMania, updated story design, which I forgot to show, but we'll look at it more in WWE 12 and whatnot. Still creative finishers, still in the game, all this good stuff. It's just the culmination of everything that they've been building to have. I think 2011 is significant because this whole time they've been trying, and the last time with the training thing, as you're absolutely right, with starting 10. I feel like SmackDown vs. Raw is very interesting because at first they were trying to find this identity by separating it from SmackDown completely because they knew they could not top Here Comes the Pain, and they tried. Obviously, the first one felt too similar to Here Comes the Pain, so they completely went to a simulation style with 06. Then with 07, they tried to do Ultimate Controls. 08, they tried to do the fighting styles. 09 was the tag teams. 010, I said 010. 10 was the creation suite, and then everything culminated here with the physics engine, universe mode, all that good stuff. So I think like everything that they tried to separate from Here Comes the Pain, they finally did it at 11. So this was the ending of it, and I think they did well. As I said, which I'm going to show you with 12. I don't truly think when they finished this game that they thought it was going to be the last one, but it was quite clear before 12 came out. They was like, all right, we got to take it to a different direction. And we're going to talk about that because they decided, even though there was nothing wrong with this game, again, and on a high note, they decided, let's reinvent ourselves. Let's completely change everything. And by change everything, I mean completely change the game, the whole engine of the game that started in the original SmackDown. We're going to throw it away to the side and have a brand new updated engine for the next game, which is the first game, completely on the current gen systems at the time. We're going to be talking about WWE 12, the game that reinvented the whole series. So for those who watch live, I appreciate it. So shout out to, hopefully I have everybody who was here. Leader of the Charisma Kids 2014, such a long name. Mustafa, Francisco. Who else was here? Johnny Burney. Quali. I'm just gonna call you Barnes. I think I pronounced. Oh, I pronounced your name. I'm never good at names, so I apologize. But I know you were here in previous streams. I really appreciate it, man. Let's see who else was here. Jaylene or Cameron. I'm just gonna call you Cameron. Slade, as always, you've been here a lot. I appreciate it. Again, I'm starting to see a lot of regular people here, which is a sign that I guess I'm doing something right for you guys to keep showing up every day. And I appreciate you guys. I know you don't have to show up here every day. For those who do, much appreciated. Who else was here? Jeffrey Rodriguez and Mike and Space Ghost 2009. Appreciate you. And Red as well. So thank you guys. We'll and JYK Game Zeets. Appreciate you being here. Tomorrow we're gonna be looking at WWE 12. So thank you guys. And have a good night.